I think I'm in love, saying way too often. I can't play these games, think I'm switching up the offense. See me in LA, I be moving cautious. I can feel no pain, rolling up, I'm so exhausted. I be so exhausted, whoa, I be so exhausted, I close my eyes, I see the vision. All this weed and got me lifted. Pour four and then I finished tonight. I told my mama that I'm with it. Got this all like this, my kitchen. Middle finger to these bitches up, cause I'ma do it my way. Shit just like the flu, ayy. Shawty said she love me. I told her, who are you, ayy? I ain't with that lame shit since I took out your brain, bitch. All these niggas talking, fuck about what they saying. GTA on wasted. Lately I've been anxious. I'm so done with this fake shit. I'm so done with you. I'm so done with you. I be so exhausted. I'ma roll another blunt, getting lost, I'm never found. Guess I'm never good enough for these bitches in my town. I don't really give a fuck, I'm a king like with my crown. Can't think about them all, cause it all gon' hold me down. I done made it through the storm, I ain't talking NBA. Mama knew I'd be a star, mama knew what I became. I got Vaughn up on the phone, said he touchdown in LA. I'ma get it how I get it, I ain't changing for the fame.
What's good, what's good, what's good? Blessing. Hope y'all having an amazing night. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody that's rocking out with your boy. Appreciate it. Alright, so let's see. Alright, now For everybody that's tuning in tonight, I got a couple things that I want to show you before we get to the main topic tonight. What it do? What it do? Blessing. What's good with you, big dog? How your night going? I got a couple things I want to show you that just popped up for me. It's amazing, man. You know, we have a lot of people that talk about this stuff. Been talking about it for years. You know, and some of us, we still choose to ignore it, you know. But just because a few ignore it, don't mean that we're gonna shut up talking about it, you know. So man, I'm gonna show y'all some stuff, bro. And I done seen this. Many of y'all done seen it. But I think it's worse than when I seen it. I think when I was growing up in this environment, I seen maybe one or two. And it's not this picture behind me. It's something else that I'm about to show you. But I just got this up. We're gonna talk about this for a brief second. We're not gonna talk about the Young Thug situation for long tonight. The court case will be going on in the morning. We will be back covering that in the morning. But I just want to show you something. Early, I was mentioning something earlier today. Let me cut the music off. All right. Earlier today, I was mentioning something to the young peoples in the chat. How it can be your loved ones that, you know, put you in a position to be a snitch. It can be your loved ones that put you in a position to not come home to your family. So, you know, we mentioned early, we watched the video with OG Percy and we said, well, is Young Thug trying to protect anybody? You know, we all speculating that everybody that is working against Young Thug is the criminal. That's how a lot of people looking at it, because being a snitch in the black community, you're a criminal. Y'all know how crazy that is? In the black community, if you a snitch, and this probably goes beyond the black community, but I know we are the ones that hold this trophy right now. It may have came from the mafia, you know, the word snitch, but right now the black community is in control. We hold more to the word snitch than anybody else, because as of now, other people are lining up to tell on motherfuckers. But within the black community, yeah, we hold that word dear, and that word means a lot for us. So, you know, we said, is Young Thug trying to help anybody? Apparently, when we listen to his sister and we listen to people that coming from the Young Thug camp that's close, and his sister, you know, like when it comes from them people, I guess they supposed to been shut their mouth. The people that took a plea deal. Now, Young Thug's brother took a plea deal today, or earlier today, or yesterday. And you know, we all have our opinions on that. But I wanted to show y'all this right here. Before we get started, like I said, we're just gonna do a quick brief on this. For everyone talking about how Young Thug is standing strong by not taking a plea agreement, the district attorney office isn't offering Jeffrey Williams any deal that doesn't leave him in prison forever. He is the target of this case. Everyone else is optional. Wow. Don't get no clearer than that, huh? It don't get no clearer than that. So, as of now, Young Thug does not have an option to take a plea deal, as I've been saying for the longest. What's good, Blessing? So, I just ran across a video not too long ago where apparently Young Thug and his brother was not on good terms. Now I'm going to let you hear this. Like I said, we got a main topic tonight. We finna get to that, but I got a few things I want to show you before we get to that. Now, this is the video I ran across of Young Thug brother having an issue with him about Young Thug taking him off of the album. So I'm gonna let you hear this.
Just because somebody is your family don't mean that they won't turn on you. Everybody's surprised that Young Thug's brother took a plea deal after Young Thug's lawyer let everybody know that the worst thing that could happen to Thugger is people taking these plea deals, man. But what people fail to realize is that Young Thug's brother been hating on him ever since the beginning. So Gunna ain't the only snitch in his camp, man. Y'all need to look at this real fast before we continue. This is his brother complaining about Young Thug taking him off his album. And he was talking to his brother like he was just another man on the street, man. Listen at this shit.
Damn, my brother. I still love you, though, bro, but you took me off your album, bro? Huh? You took me off your album, really? Because due to the fact I was just on the track list, I was just, you know what I'm saying, people were requiring my information, which I didn't give a fuck about, but people were requiring my information for the album. Now, all of a sudden, I see the track list, I'm not on there, so that tells me somebody got in their feelings about something somewhere down the line. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's business but yours, but it's just funny to me that you took me off your album. Thanks, though, bro.
Now, whether this old or new, I don't know. But it just goes to show that when we are looking at these guys taking these plea deals, who knows the actual relationship that these people have with Young Thug? At the end of the day, when it comes to the part that I want you to see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the relationship is. Because when it's time to go to jail and be locked up for a long time, relationships goes out the window. It don't matter how loyal you been. It don't matter how long y'all been homies. It don't matter if it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. When it's time for somebody to be facing 5 to 20 to 30 to 60 years in jail, man, a lot of relationship can be broken overnight. There are so many relatives that have put their family member in jail. There are so many husbands, wives have put their loved one in jail. I keep saying this over and over and over again. At some point, you have to learn from others' mistakes. If you keep sitting back looking at this for entertainment, you're not trying to really get the message out of this, because there's a message in everything. And I know that's hard, man. I try to tell myself that. I try to tell my lady that. There's a message in everything we go through and all our failures. What did we learn from it? A lot of us don't learn anything because we are so blinded by the entertainment of it. But I feel like if this case right here can't show you something, then you're not meant to see it. It's not your time yet. And what we all have to understand is there's a time period that all of us get to this level of understanding. Some of us reach this level at 15, 17, 21, 30, 40, 50. There are some people that say they have to bump their heads a couple times before they actually can get the message. Then there are some people that never bump their head. They just sit and watch. Wow, look at that motherfucker fucking up right there. Oh, shit. He going to jail for 150 years. Oh, fuck. He got life. He's serving 2 life sentences. So you telling me that man or that woman right there made that mistake, and that mistake cost them their life? Okay. I don't want to do that. See, some people get to learn from others' mistakes. And that's where I'm trying to persuade the people that watch my content. I want to persuade you to learn from these mistakes of others. Learn from the mistakes of me. I tell y'all my life. I tell y'all my life not to gain any cool points. I tell you my history so that for you can see that I'm just a man like you. We all go up and we all come down. But if we don't learn from those going up and coming down session, we can never get back up. See, I have been down multiple times in life. But because I learned something about each time that I went down, it helped me to get back up faster. And I'm not here to give you a motivational speech or nothing like that. I just wanted to play that. Like I said, we're not going to be talking about the Young Thug thing tonight. We got something more important. But I just wanted you to see that it can be your friend. It can be your girlfriend. It can be your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. If you are out here doing illegal activities, when it's time to get sentenced, when it's time to face jail, no, my bad, when it's time to face prison, because see, there are some people that line up for jail. Go spend a 48 hours, 72 hours, a month, you feel me, traffic tickets. There are some people that line up for jail, but there ain't a lot of people lining up for prison. So it's easy for a motherfucker to say, hey man, I got some information. While we was listening to this trial, we noticed that a man who got caught up by the police was willing to give information on a case he knew nothing about just so he can get out of jail. Y'all remember? If y'all been watching the trial, a man got pulled over by the police, ended up going to jail. He noticed that they was dealing with another case, and he said, hey, I got some information about that case. Come to find out, he don't know shit about the case. But just so he can get out of jail, he was willing to lie and say he knows something about the case. And they had an eyewitness. He was an eyewitness, and they end up prosecuting the other guy based off of what he said he saw. So you have to pay attention, man. Everybody talk about how they ready for this lifestyle. They can handle it. Bring it to me. I'm down for whatever. That's what they say in front of the crowds. It's easy to say anything when you're free. A motherfucker say anything when they free. But when they got you in the interrogation room, when they got you with 100 years, 40, 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. Man, that's a long time, dog. And that's a long time. Come on. Once again, are we paying attention? Dude stood up in court the second day and said he been in there 5 years with no lawyer. So he been in there 5 years with no lawyer. 5 years. So what are his chances of getting out of jail? Answer me that. For y'all that think this shit is a joke, for y'all that's running around taking life for granted, man, it's, at some point you better snap out of that. 5 years with no lawyer. So what are his chances of coming home? His damn sure won't be coming home for this Christmas. He won't be home this Christmas. Once again, another situation. Y'all go to jail. You got a girlfriend you love. You got a wife you in love with. You got kids you love. That connection is about to get disrupted with that jail involved. People say they'll wait on you all the time. Have you not heard about the military? They not even going to jail. They going to serve their country and come home to find out that their wife or husband has stepped out and is still stepping out. Are you paying attention to that? So don't think if you go to jail, they'll wait when they won't even wait on a man or a woman that is going to serve the country. You have people come home, find their wife in bed with another man while they done been on 3 and 4 tours. So dudes, it sound good. You gonna ride with me forever? You down with me? It sound good. But man, that's a lot of pressure, dog. That's a lot of pressure you putting on somebody else because of your actions. And as you see, Young Thug did not step up and say, hey, when they got pulled over with the gun or whatever, Young Thug ain't say it's mine. Donna ain't say it's his or the other dude. So I think it was 3 dudes. I don't know if it was 3 or 2, but nobody claimed it. So now we all are a target because people say they're real, but nobody knows what real is when it comes to the street life. It's just something to say for right now. But when it come down to it, ain't nobody gonna be what you thought real was. Cause real gonna be, man, shit, it's his. It's, you know how easy it is to say it's the other man in the other room? Cause y'all like, see, it's hard for a motherfucker to say. It's hard for a motherfucker to say it's you in front of your face. Y'all ever notice that? It's easy for somebody to lie on you when they not around you. But when you right in their face, they can't say that same lie that they told on you. It's easy for a motherfucker to go into the office. Hey, man, you know so-and-so ain't come to work today. Or you know so-and-so been stealing out. But guess what? When you around, hey, tell them what you told me. Man, hey, man, come on now. I ain't saying that. Huh? Then you came here and told me so-and-so been stealing out the office. Or, you know, whatever. It's easy for a person to tell on you and never had to see you again. It's easy. They do it all day, every day. That's why you see people like T.I. say, hey, can you show me the paperwork of me telling on anybody? It's easy for some of these people to say that because they know you can't go get the paperwork. They know you don't even know how to get the paperwork. Most of us, I want to show you something though. I just wanted to show you that right there. For y'all that got to hear me from the beginning with that story. Now I want to show you something right here. See, when I keep telling you to be poor, he said, and he said for somebody, yo, hurry up and buy. We have grown men and women over here. We like, you dudes don't even know how to come into a chat. You just come in and type. You don't know what side nobody on. You just come in and start typing. We have grown peoples over here, man. We're not here to entertain you kids or you grown men and women with kid minds. We're here to educate, man. So y'all might be in the wrong chat, bro. Try to listen, then comment. Yo. So, all right. Now I want to show you something. See, when I was telling you about how the system worked, and I was telling you about how being poor, it's a thing that was caused. It's not something that just happened. To be poor is something that was placed into the system of the hoods in America. And it's not just in the hoods, but predominantly the hoods. Now I'm about to show you something right here. Okay, my bad. I apologize. Now, this is just one. It's other videos. Now, I want you to ask yourself, do you think this is a mistake? Think about how much wealth we have in America. Think about how much money the government sends out around the world. Think about that. You don't think the world we live in, the America, you don't think America could do something about this? This is designed like this. It's designed like this. As long as we stay poor, as long as we stay mentally poor, they forever make money off of healthcare. When you get paid, what takes the most taxes out of your money? When you get paid, healthcare. Healthcare get the most money out of your check every 2 weeks or every week. Healthcare. Now, when you look at the healthcare situation, see, if you poor, 9 times out of 10, for people that grew up in the environment like where I came from, what kind of food do we eat? Look at how they put us in this loop. Poor people eat poor food. We have to survive off of hot dogs, bologna, noodles, beanie weenies. Like, look at all the food we eat in our environment. It's nothing that can actually, it's no substance in the food we eat. Now, mind you, we all have been trapped up in the food industry. But when it comes to the poor community, notice, and see, you notice what I showed you? See, because I don't want y'all to think that I don't speak for unity. These are not black people. I said poor people. I didn't say black. I didn't say white. I didn't say Puerto Rican. I didn't say Asian. I didn't say Chinese. I said poor people. See, it bothers me when I see non-black people thinking that it's just the black people that are targeted. It's bothering me when I see non-black people that don't get this. It's bothering me when I see black people that think it's just us that is being targeted. No, that's why I keep preaching. We have to work together. Now, I do feel a way because I'm a black person and I knew the community that I seen when I was growing up. I know what I saw. But I know as I got older, I realized the race thing is a joke. I'm fighting a white man, or I say non-black because I don't want to name all the things that. So I'm fighting a non-black person. And he can't do nothing to change my environment. He live in the same condition I live in. But see, that's how they trick us. They make us battle each other while they leave us all in this type of condition. See, I know most of y'all in here are black. I know there are some non-black people sitting here as well. But what I'm saying is, I know, so I don't have to go show y'all no black projects because I can go show it to you. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is they do it to all of us. It's not just one ethnic group. It's all of us. Slavery, most of us, we hear about slavery, we think it's just black people. No, see, this is a new echelons of slavery. We don't have time to cook our kids a real meal. Look how many single mothers we got. And I'm not, for y'all get to going, oh man, it's about, I'm not an advocate for just, oh man, you just trying to out here and cater to the women. I don't do that. I hate people that create these platforms and they try to use the females because they know the females has the money to donate frequently to them. I hate those type of platforms. There's a dude that I frequently support and watch, and I see how he used these women, and it bothers me. So I'm not saying as in using a single mother to try to gain some points with them. I don't work like that. But look at all these single mothers, right? Think about it. Most of us come from a single mother household. Most. So if she gotta go to work for 8 hours, come home and cook, she gotta sleep for 8 hours. When she come home and after she finished cooking and cleaning, she gotta try to give her tired, low vibration. Think about what I'm saying. She got to give her low vibration energy to her kids if she got more than one, which most do. And this, once again, notice I didn't say black or non-black. I said mothers. It's same to go for two-parent household. It don't matter. But if you poor, at the end of the day, guess what you're still doing? You can't feed your kids a cooked meal. You barely have time for that. Some of these people are going to the job. Some mothers and fathers are going to a job where they actually have to produce hard labor. There are some women out here that go into jobs that actually not just typing on the keyboard. They actually have to get busy now. So imagine coming home and trying to give your kids some good energy, and you don't got that. You frustrated. You mentally tired. You mentally drained. The world done already sucked out that morning energy. Most of us, we get up in the morning, even though we don't want to, and we have that good flowing energy. The world gonna take that with them 8 hours, them 10 hours, them 12 hours. So now you gotta come home and try to be a positive light in your kid's life. You got to try to fix them some. Some people, if you poor and you only making a certain amount of money, how can you actually go out and get food that is not of the guts of a pig. Once again, like I said, in my household, every day I eat hot dogs and bologna. Every day. Every day I eat hot dogs and bologna. On Fridays, we ate chicken or fish. So if we go back to this loop, when you look at your paycheck, they take the most money from healthcare. Knowing that we poor, we have to feed our kids. We have to feed the household, man and woman, kids as well. We have to feed them the poor foods. And if we don't feed them the poor food, then what do? We go get the fast food. What is the most promoted food in the world? Fast food. Why? Why is fast food the #1 choice of food? Knowing what it is. Y'all done seen the videos. We done seen the videos of the fucking hamburger being lit for hours. We done seen the food of the fast food industry. But it's the #1. He said, cause it's fast. You ain't paying attention. That's the poor man, woman choice. So they can keep you in a cycle. If I feed you poor food and I'm taking the money from your health care, think about what I'm saying. Your environment is poor. Your environment is poor. I feed you poor food and I make you pay for health care that you can't even afford. Are you not understanding? You in a losing battle from birth as a poor person. You don't have a doctor you don't have insurance. Can you afford? Do you know some people, only way they can afford health insurance is to get a second job? There are some elderlies that are working right now. Might be some of y'all in here that would not be working if it wasn't for health care because they can't afford it. So they got you in a spin cycle. They got us in a spin cycle. Okay. Wow. He said, I'm in Canada. Healthcare is free. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. There are some, I don't know if I'm going to repeat that. There are some people that are 65 years old, 60 years old, 50, barely can walk. They have to go get second jobs. They have to go get a job. Disability won't be enough just so they can pay for healthcare. And you say in Canada you get it for free. That's wow. That just shows you the world that we live in America. To be poor is very expensive. And they make a lot of money by keeping us poor. They make a lot of money by keeping us dumb in the educational world. I keep saying it. It's not by design. It's not by design. I mean, it's not by chance. It's by design. It's not randomly that when we walk outside, we see trash everywhere. Now, we have to do something about that. And I know most of it, but I ain't finna go out there and pick up nobody else's trash. But see, if you live in an environment full of trash, guess what? I'm gonna ban you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna ban you. I'm in Houston and I don't care about healthcare. Niggas die every day in every city. Just live your life. All right, let me ban you. Hold on, where you at? Here I come. Once again, I don't need people that not trying to think on a different level. You're in the wrong chat, bro. You're in the wrong chat. What's good? What's good, big dog? If there's trash in our environment, then what type of mindset does that send? That's saying for us to keep having trash in our environment. When you go to think about this, y'all. When you go to a nice restaurant, what type of feeling does it give you? It gives you a feeling of to be respectful. Yo, real talk for all my guys that go to these clubs. When you go to upscale places, you feel like you have to treat it differently than you treat a hood spot, right? Be honest. When you go to hood clubs, you get to smoke all through there. You drop cigarette butts on the ground, bottles on the ground, trash on the floor. But when you go to these upscale places, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like you want to drop some on the ground? Do you feel like you want to piss all over the toilet? See, niggas will piss all over the toilet at these hood spots. At the poor spots. Let me say that. At the poor spots. But when you go to a upscale place, it don't need to be nobody in there to tell you. You let that motherfucking toilet up. And if you piss on some shit, you wipe it off. You make sure you leave that motherfucker the way you found it. But see, when you live in an environment where it's covered with dirt, it's covered with trash, guess what type of mindset that sent to you? Shit, I can leave trash here too. When you go to somebody's house and you see how nice they got it, you see, you smell, it smells good in here. It looks good in here. So you say to yourself, shit, okay, let me try not to, you know what I'm saying, do too much fucking around and knocking shit over, and I want to clean up behind myself. You know, you drop some paper. You ever got in somebody's car? You ever got in a nice car? You know what I'm saying? You drop something, you be, man, damn, let me pick that up, you know. You don't want to be putting mud in somebody's nice shit. But guess what? When you step into a vehicle that's not really, don't have a good uptake, he or she ain't been taken care of, man, you step all in that nigga shit with mud. Don't give a fuck. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm telling you, that's the mindset. So it's a reason that in poor communities, notice I didn't say what race you is. I said poor communities. You're going to see trash. You're going to see the environment covered in drugs, gangs, violence. Because if you see it, there's a possibility you might partake in it. There's a possibility. Some kids never would have been introduced to drugs if it wasn't for the environment. It bothers me when I hear people that never lived in a condition like this, and they speak as if it's so easy to walk by this law of attraction. Wow, thank you. It bothers me when I hear people that never lived in a condition like this, and they just automatic judge and say, wow, look at them people. Some of these people got caught up in this coming out the house as a kid, being curious and saying, let me try this. Can I get a little deeper? When it comes to our brothers and sisters that represent the rainbow community. Let's go a little deeper. When it comes to our brothers and sisters that represent the rainbow community, you think some of those kids were just curious? You know they was, right? Some of those kids, they wanted to go over there and try something out because it was heavily promoted. See, when you heavily promote something and you give it so much light and attention, there's a possibility I just might come over there and see what's going on. Now, those that's strong enough, not going to deal in the drugs. But everybody don't have the mindset that y'all have. Because some of y'all might say, look at them bombs. Look at them fucked up peoples out there. Everybody ain't that strong as you. Everybody ain't mentally tough like you are. You was able to avoid this lifestyle. There are some people that got caught up in the trap. And who set the trap? You think the trap just magically came out of nowhere? Nah. This is not the topic tonight, but I ran across this and I wanted to show y'all this. He said they chose their path. Don't get banned in here, bro. Don't get banned in here. You ain't listening. Do you think everybody chose their path or some was forced into a lifestyle? See, this is what I mean. It's like some of y'all just don't think. It's like some of y'all just don't think outside of your world. You think everybody chose to be a gangbanger. You think everybody chose to be a crackhead. What I just said. Some kids walked out their front door for the first time, stuck a needle in their arm, had no idea, gone for the rest of their life. Everybody don't choose this route. The environment gives you no choices sometimes. And it bothers me that y'all really don't see that. It bothers me that we are grown individuals and we don't understand that sometimes there is no choice. Sometimes. I'm not making excuses for nobody, but sometimes the choices of, hey, you got to make some money. You got to make some money. You got to put food on the table. You can't get a job. 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 So, man, I don't want to be this. I don't want to sell no drugs. I don't want to steal. I don't want to steal. Once again, let me tell you this story. My best friend, I told some of y'all this. My best friend caught me stealing his socks and drawers. Hear me. You think I wanted to steal another nigga's socks and drawers? My best friend, I was too embarrassed. My best friend caught me stealing his socks and drawers. I was putting them in my backpack. He came in, he said, man, what you doing? I said, man. I said, damn, bruh. I said, my bad, man. I said, I ain't got no socks. My best friend didn't live in the condition I lived in. He had two parents that took care of him. I had a dad that was trying, but he can't afford it. Now, one day he was able to, but he can't afford to get me all the things I needed. So I thought if I just take it from my best friend, they wouldn't notice. And he caught me. And I told him, I said, man, I need some socks. And he said, man, damn, B. He said, man, but how many you need? And my best friend gave me his used drawers, his used socks. You think I wanted to do that? But sometimes it's the condition of the environment. And this is what makes me so mad with you people that have made it. See, I made it out of that condition, but I don't talk like some of you motherfuckers, dog. It bothers me. I hate being around people like that. Because you made it to a nice spot and you sit and look and say, well, they don't have to be there. What happened when there's no opportunities in your environment and you don't got enough money to fly out of your city? How you gonna fly to a different location when you can't even eat at night? But nobody cares about that. Why? Because you made the choice. I'm not making excuses for nobody, but what I'm saying is, let's think outside that little circle that you got. Let's think outside of it. But that's all I had on that. We're gonna move on to the main topic that I wanted to go over tonight. Man, I thought this was so powerful. I was listening to it as I was at the gym earlier today, and I said, man, wow. Now, before we watch this, I want to go out on a because I have done videos on Kwame Brown before. I understand Kwame Brown has his issues that he gets into when it comes to the internet. But man, Kwame Brown also says some things that how can any person go against? How can any human go against? And I think the things that he's saying in this interview, we need people that echo real shit. Why can't we have a difference with someone but echo when they say real shit? But we can go around here and echo Young Thug and Gunna situation. That shit right there can get echoed with a bullhorn. But we can't pick up these people that are speaking on how and why some of the things are going on within our community. Now, like I said, there are some things I dislike that they say, but I wouldn't be a human being if I agreed with everything you fucking said. I'm not supposed to agree with everything y'all say. Y'all not supposed to agree with everything I say. We can have a difference of opinion, and I like for the G that said that, like they chose their choice. That's your opinion on that. But that don't mean I don't get behind you when you say some real shit. I can get behind you, even though I disagree with what you said, and it hurt me that you say that because that's not true. Some people didn't choose their choice. Some people were forced into their situation. But I still can say, okay, man, hey, you said some real shit right there. I rock with you, dog. So when I hear, now I know about some of the guys and the women that beef with Kwame Brown on the YouTube because I watch him from time to time. So I know some of the people that he beef with. One of the guys came into my screen one day, way bigger than me. And this will let me know something ain't right. And he might end up watching this. For a person to be so big, and I do a video on supporting what Kwame Brown has said when he said some real shit. And a guy come and say, man, Kwame Brown ain't real, man. He ain't no real. And I'm like, damn, man. Even when he says some good shit like this, we still gonna beef? Y'all answer me this. Why can't Kwame Brown, Hassan Campbell, Charleston White, OG Percy, why can't they get together and do business? If we know all we know, why can't Charleston White, Hassan Campbell, and Kwame Brown, OG Percy? Now, those are the guys I really support when it comes to this type of stuff. I don't know everybody. You know, if you know somebody else I can put into my library, let me know. But when it comes to this type of topic, what I'm talking about, why can't these guys work together? I don't understand. We know all we know, and we still see the guys that has a major voice into the community. We still see them butt heads and collide. Bingo. Bingo. But some of these guys, they have a great message, but that money gets in the way. But, and I'm not going to call no name for some of the ones that I named, and I feel like the money get in the way. But all these guys have a great message that I think should be echoed. Kwame Brown, Charleston White, OG Percy, Hassan Campbell. Those are the four that I watch the most when it comes to this type of stuff. And I see sometimes the money gets in the way. Sometimes it got to be, I said it first. Who the fuck care who said it first? Who care? Like, we got, like, y'all dudes are so powerful. If we can get people like Hassan Campbell, Kwame Brown, Charleston White, OG Percy, Kwame Brown to stay on a good path and a good connection, we don't need the LeBron James to speak for us anymore. And I know some of y'all gonna say, well, we don't need nobody to speak for us. Well, you're wrong. You wrong. Somebody gotta step up and be a leader. Somebody has to be a leader, or else we gonna be unorganized motherfuckers that just out here running around. Somebody has to take the big seat, but they have to take it without being greedy, without feeling like, hey, I said it first. Everybody copying my style. Fuck it. I love watching Hassan Campbell. I think Hassan Campbell is one of the GOATs at this shit. I'm tired of hearing niggas taking his style. I'm tired of hearing. It's just some things I can't understand. Charleston White. Charleston White is a great nigga at this shit. But look at all the extra stuff we have to go through just for our brothers and sisters to get their message across. It's another lady. Oh, hold on. The Professor Griffs. Come on, man. I can go deeper. The Professor Griffs of the world. The what's that lady name? Her name start with a V. Vivi or something like that. I might be messing up her name, but like we got all these great influencers that trying to help us build, and we keep seeing them collide with each other. At what point is that gonna stop? It's no way we should see Charleston White beefing with Kwame Brown, Kwame Brown beefing with Hassan Campbell, OG Percy and Charleston White. Like, y'all niggas are so important that it shouldn't be no time to fuck. Like, y'all are that important, in my opinion. Some of y'all might say, fuck them niggas. But y'all, I'm telling you, without leaders, we're not gonna get nowhere. And what bothers me is, if Kwame Brown is beefing with any other guy or woman that is on this path, then what they're gonna do is gonna make the community divided. This is how it works. It's just like a fucking football game. If Kwame Brown is beefing with Charleston White, then now Charleston White community gonna say, well, we can't do business or work with Kwame Brown community. If OG Percy and Charleston White beefing, now OG Percy people gonna say, man, nah, we can't fuck with Charleston White. So I don't understand why we can't see the big picture. I understand there are rules and there are boundaries. And I understand when motherfuckers get to disrespecting and going too far, I know ain't nobody gonna want to deal with that. But I'm trying to see how y'all all fighting the same fight. You trying to help. So then, how do we do it if we can't even get when I say the leaders, Kwame Brown, Hassan Campbell, Charleston White, OG Percy, who else I said? Charleston White, Hassan Campbell. They have the attention of thousands of people, especially Hassan Campbell. So it shouldn't be no reason Hassan Campbell shouldn't be working with Charleston White, Kwame Brown, OG Percy, and many others. There's a lot of other people that do this stuff too. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just telling you about the ones I watch. Once again, if you know some ones I need to tap into my knowledge or trying to understand and get some clarity, because these guys are higher up into the business. They older. They know more. So I like to go see, okay, I like to, while I'm at the gym, I like to listen and see what's going on. How are they feeling about these things? Like Kwame Brown, I just did a crazy video where he was talking about, he went to church and he was talking about the kids. I got that video coming out soon. I'm about to play this. I just really would like to see these guys that have these large platforms. If you beefing, then how can we talk about how gangbangers are out here beefing? We can't even get y'all to work together. If y'all beefing, how you think we gonna perceive it? So now I gotta choose if I wanna watch Kwame Brown or Hassan Campbell or Charleston White or OG Percy. Now I gotta sit here and choose between y'all. And that's what, now I'm old enough to watch all y'all and say, well, fuck whatever y'all got going on. I'm gonna watch all y'all. Willie D, thank you. Appreciate that. I watched Willie D. I'm sorry I didn't say his name. I watched Willie D as well. But what I'm saying is, if they beefing and they are the ones that have this attention on the internet, now once again, now I know there are some people in our local community that are doing amazing things too. But what I keep telling y'all, our kids are on the internet. They ain't worried about that nigga that helping out in our local community. So when it comes to the internet, these guys has the voice. And I'm trying to find out when can they stop what they doing when it comes to the beefing side, so that we can get this knowledge from these guys. We got people that doing it in our community. I know we do. What's good, gang? But when it comes to the internet, that's where our kids at. That's where most of these grown people. I know some people in here that watching these people just like I do. So everybody seems to, we can't have groups anymore. We can't meet up, without being called a gang. Come on. So we come to the internet and we get to join these different organizations of this person, that person. And they all got valuable information. Every one of them have valuable information. But let's go ahead and get started with this interview. I think y'all gonna love it. Let's check it out.
So that's what I did. I went to the Sonny's Round Ball Classic, won MVP. I went
and just so you can understand how crazy this is. When it comes to Kwame Brown made history. The first black, I think he was the first black kid, along with was he the first person, period, to be drafted into the NBA out of high school? I know he was the first black. I don't know if he was the first, period. Can somebody let me know about that? So, if you can understand what they did to Kwame Brown, that's the major thing. And I don't want to talk too much over this because I've seen it, but at some point you got to say it's bigger than basketball. Just like I said with the Deion Sanders situation. First to go, first overall. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank y'all.
to the Peach Jam, won MVP, and just a bunch of different tournaments that I strategically placed myself in. I went from nobody knowing who I was to who is that? That's how it was.
Who taught you how to play basketball? Or just was it something you did in the hood?
We just played all sports. I mean, my first I'm actually the tallest one out of all of my brothers. So we're all pretty tall. My shortest brother is about 6'4", 6'5".
Oh wow.
And it goes from that to me. So everybody's above board. My grandfather was 6'6", my mom was 6'1". So
yeah. So you grew up at SC, right? South Carolina?
I grew up part of my life in South Carolina. My dad went to prison, and then I ended up in Detroit. Actually in Saginaw. We was in Detroit, and then we went to Lansing, Michigan. That's where a part of my family is still at. And we spent some time in Jersey. I have an aunt named Kimberly in Jersey. So we spent time up there. We kind of bounced around after my father did what he did. And then we ended up landing in Brunswick, Georgia.
Got you. So you start playing basketball, and from these tournaments, you was getting the eye of the scouts.
Yeah, like I didn't even know it. It's just I saw these guys on the magazines. You know, I saw Tyson Chandler when I was I think it was in the 7th grade or 8th grade, and I just saw this guy on the magazine dunking the ball. I said, "Oh shit, I want to do that. I ain't gonna hate on him, but I'm finna run him down." And so that's what it was. I said that's supposed to be me on that magazine.
Gotcha.
So I went from an undefeated point guard. I played point guard in middle school. So my middle school team went undefeated. And then from that 7th grade, 8th grade year, that 8th grade year to the 9th grade, I grew 8 inches.
Wow.
So I never got to play JV. when they saw how big I was, they said, "Oh no, you're going straight to varsity." But I had to grow into my body, but I still had the point guard type of skills.
Got you. So when did you realize that it was real, that it's a time where somebody is saying, hold on, you possibly could go to the NBA? When did that hit you?
When it happened.
Just like that.
I didn't plan for it to happen. Like, to be honest, I can't say that I dreamed this all my life. I'm not like the other people. I can't say this is what I dreamed and this is what I strive to do. I didn't have time to think about that. My brothers was going to prison in and out. They were kicking in my door. 6 o'clock in the morning, we up on face down on the ground being cuffed, and then I gotta make it to the bus to go to school.
You say you can't hear?
I didn't have time to think about
try to refresh it.
Basketball being away. My thing was, I don't care what it is, I know I'm finna make a way. So that was my mindset. It don't matter what avenue, what it is, I know I'm finna come through this by the hard work that I put in.
Got you. So you, was it an agent that hit you first, or was it a scout? Who hit you first?
The first time I noticed people were in the stands, it was one of the assistant coaches. He was like, "Man, there's somebody over there in a fat suit," and I think it was the coach from Billy Donovan from Florida, University of Florida.
Got you.
I got recruited first by Florida State. I was going to go to Florida State at first, and then after my sophomore year, then every school in America wanted to get me in, but I pretty much wanted to end that hoopla because I don't know if anybody else tell the truth about being recruited, but everybody sound the same. And then, everybody's buttering up to you. Everybody's kissing you behind. And then everybody trying to give you girls, money, whatever you want. So I wanted to end that. I didn't want to. That's not me. I'm more of an introvert. I'm not there for all that. I just knew I had a mission that I was going to accomplish.
Could you tell your chat room, because I don't think they can hear you?
That's why I feel like
muted. Just tell your chat room.
He's so important.
Just tell them come to Doggie Diamonds TV.
Hey, chat, come to Doggie.
I feel like he's so important to the movement of the future. Somebody that's been there. Like I said, we need people that have done it and can come back and give the understanding. Nobody is actually giving the understanding of how to get there. They don't even teach us about money. They don't even teach us how to love ourselves. We just go to school, learn some bullshit, and hey, get out there in the world. So I think we need people like this.
Because college is,
that's just my opinion.
A lot of kids' dream. Was it a money thing? But you was like, yo, I could get some money. I'm going to the NBA. What was it?
It was after the workout. I said, if I don't do good in this workout, then I'm gonna in this tournament, then I'm gonna go to college.
Got you.
When I did the tournament, I killed everybody. And it's just, I was like, okay, well, there's nothing higher than number one from a basketball standpoint. So I might as well throw my hat in the race, and then after that, I can always go to school.
So, all right, the big question: at what point did you ever speak to MJ at any time prior to you getting drafted?
No.
So you only spoke to him when you got there?
Yeah, like there's this big misnomer that MJ drafted me number one. He didn't draft me to play in Washington Wizards. And the sports media, they won't tackle this situation because they know it's true. I got drafted in that old regime, that old guard, Charles Oakley, and Antonio Davis, and those guys. You didn't play while you were a rookie. They didn't play rookies. So MJ wanted to win. He had 1 year, maybe 2 years at best. MJ's mind, if you get him to the playoffs, then he's...
Yo, for everybody that's watching on YouTube from my Twitch side, could one of y'all let them know that it might be glitched on Twitch? It just started back working? Oh, okay. All right.
Going to win the championship. That's how determined he is.
Twitch
Elton
be on
Brand
some bullshit.
At the time was averaging a double-double. And he was
okay,
in
the
Chicago.
sound back. Okay.
I was supposed to be traded.
Twitch been tripping
Tyson
lately.
Chandler was supposed to go to the Clippers. I was supposed to go to Chicago. Elton Brand and a couple of picks were supposed to go to Washington for me,
Mm-hmm.
or I was supposed to go to Chicago for a couple of picks, and because Elton Brand made the highest money.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Chicago was big on me. I was athletic. I moved the ball. They wanted me to play alongside Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry was more of an established back to the basket post player. I was more of I could handle the ball, quick guard everybody. And so they wanted to see what we did together. But unfortunately, that trade didn't happen because if you look at the history of the Washington Wizards, they trade everybody that turned great.
Mm-hmm.
And they just finally got tired of that. They traded Richard Hamilton,
Mm-hmm.
who you see what happened with that. They traded Rasheed Wallace. And you see what happened with that. They traded Ben Wallace. They traded Chris Webber. They traded
Juwan Howard.
Mm-hmm. So everybody they traded left other places and were successful. So at that time, I just got the unlucky Poland is going to stand up for herself and tell MJ no. And that's something that you can't do.
So was it ever a time, now you're on the team, what is it like? What's the day-to-day life of an NBA player, especially you're 18, right? You're 18 at this time. So how can I pose it to you? Were you a kid in a grown man body trying to learn a grown man game and a grown man business, but you still a kid?
No, I was I wasn't really a kid based on the experiences that I had. Everybody wanted to say that, but I was ready to go. You don't go through things that I've gone through in life. Of course, there's a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
There's players that go to 4 years of college and the game is so fast, you have to learn that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the game that's the problem, it's the people that's the problem.
Got you.
I was young enough, I was vibrant enough that whatever you throw at me, I'm willing to learn. I'm not going to take offense to it. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you see some of the best players in the league now are the younger guys. It's just they don't have the discipline. You still need the discipline of the older cats. Because at first, when I didn't play, I would react negative.
Mm-hmm.
I would not take care of the game part of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys, I would tell young players like this, I appreciate the veterans that love up on you and tell you the truth instead of the ones that hate on you, because it's a lot of money involved in this. So it could be a power forward there that they know I'm coming there to take their spot. Why would they want to train me up when I'm there to replace them?
All right. Now here's where it started to get real for me. And this is when I started to really pay attention. Once again, I made a reference to y'all the other day. I said, how many of us as young boys go to these jobs and the older people say, you sure you're going to be cut out for this? What he really saying is, he don't want you to be there to take his spot. The job actually is looking for younger people, but the older men and women that are at these jobs would rather not train you properly, set you up for failure. See, I can say this because I done seen it happen more than one time. Not only to myself, but to people I know. And I want you to hear that again. See, that goes deeper than basketball. That's in the real world. And I keep saying, somehow, some elders don't want to go sit down anymore. They don't want to go retire. They want to stay at their job. But the company don't want to keep them there. So the company trying to bring in new people to get trained, and the elder like, man, they ain't feeling that. I done seen it happen too many times. The OGs do be hating. So I want y'all to catch that. That goes deeper than basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times those guys, that rookie hazing, they would do you dirty because they know you really here to replace me.
Mm-hmm.
So let me make sure this window closed. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I never really rookie hazed anybody because of that reason. And so I just think a lot of the young players need to learn, like I learned, if you're not playing, you got to keep that positive mindset, because there's a time that it's going to be your time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't handle business when nobody's looking, you're not going to be able to handle business when everybody's looking. So that happened to me one time. I was like, fuck it, they ain't playing me. I ain't practicing. I'm practicing, but I ain't playing. So fuck it. You get down on yourself and you chill and you relax. Next thing you know, somebody get hurt. Oh shit, I'm in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the game. I'm sucking wind, because this game, no matter how much you work out in practice, the game is twice.
The game is the game. The game is the
The
game.
game is the game.
So I
That's
want to
what
ask you
it is.
something, and I think this is educational. And your agent, what was the
Pay attention, y'all. They about to start getting to the real shit. You know, right now they just warming up. They finna start getting to some deep shit. But you got to keep
nationality
up.
of your agent?
He's a white guy, a
Okay.
Jewish white guy.
Okay. Your manager, did you have a manager at the time?
White guy.
Okay. Your realtor, what was he?
White guy came with the agent. No, actually, that was a black lady.
Okay. Your
Realtor was a black lady.
Who did you buy your car from?
I brought my car from Nally in my hometown, GMC.
Okay.
In my hometown.
Black
but it
guy?
was
Black guy?
GMC. No.
Your jewelry, who was your jeweler?
I didn't have a jeweler.
So you didn't do the jewelry thing?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So basically, predominantly, you come in, a kid, 18-year-old kid coming out of barely high school, and you get thrusted in the NBA, the #1 pick, all eyes on you. Then you're surrounded with people that's saying, pay me here, pay me here.
Please listen up, y'all. Please. I'm pausing it because I want you to really take into what's about to be said here.
Pay me there, you buy this, but they just so happen to be white people that's gonna get you money, but also saying you need to spend it here, you need to spend it there, you need to spend it here. How responsible were you with your money early on, being that you was an 18-year-old kid?
I wouldn't necessarily say they know how to get you money. They know how to tell you they know what to do with your money better than
No, I mean that they got to negotiate your contract. They have to do some of the things. So he's gonna get you money, but yeah, that's what I meant. But
well, when it comes to when it's time to invest, when it comes to the investment side, they'll try to put you in things that you don't necessarily understand. Me, I understand simply. They don't make no more land. So they a lot of the financial people talk me out of things that I wanted to do because.
Now, the reason I want you to really understand that point right there, I want you to think about the environment some of y'all came from. And you say, why didn't nobody come back and bless the environment? Why they handing out backpacks? But if they go over to somewhere else, they building buildings. They creating structure. See the difference? See, when it comes to the hoods, you don't build up the environment. That's not the goal. And there are some people that are controlling the outcome of where you place your funds. I really want you to pay attention to that.
Because I realize now it wouldn't have made them anything.
Okay.
So a lot of these young players, they have family members that they can't trust them because a lot of family members are trying to get what they want. So what happens is these financial advisors love up on them and they try to pretend like they're trying to save them when really they're trying to do what's the same thing as some of the family members are trying to do.
Got you.
Everybody's trying to get a piece of what they can get before you don't have anything. Because in their mind, they're thinking you're not going to have
family. So when some of these guys make it to this status, they got to fight the family and they got to fight these people that are trying to take their money and to place it and rebuild their side of the fence. But they won't let these guys come over and invest where the place they came from. But they can come bring some backpacks. They can come do some giveaways, but they're just not going to be able to rebuild in their city. Now, wait till he get to start talking about the structure.
Have anything. But most athletes, if you leave them alone, if they're not responsible for mama, daddy, uncles, and nigga, we made it. That's the culture around most of these athletes. I never had jury. I lived off of my Adidas contract. I had $1.5 million coming from Adidas. So I didn't touch my NBA contract. I invested. I was with CSI Capital Management, and I tried to buy hotels. I wanted to play Monopoly in real life. So anything I've ever lost, I'm in hedge fund deals with the people that everything is supposed to be okay. These are the smartest people in the world. I'm in hedge fund deals with Kevin Garnett and all of these people that they do their due diligence, but somehow the deal always go kaput when us athletes are in it. And us athletes are the last ones to get our money back. And so if I was these athletes, I would tell them, only do business in the summertime and start small. Go buy you a building in the summer. I went down to the courthouse steps in Atlanta. I bought a building for $88,000 one summer, sat on it for 3 years and sold it for $350 and didn't touch a brick on it. So it's important that we start doing things on our own, and nothing should be fast. It should, and I would always, oh, I got this money, I want to try to make some more money. That's gonna be the way you lose your money, because you don't have time to watch your money, stay in shape, eat right, be at practice, and be what you need to be, and you're watching your money. You don't have time to do all that. So it's best to just wait until the summertime, make you a little something on the side, have that residual income coming in, and wait until you can focus on it again in the summer. Because a lot of these athletes, believe it or not, these quote unquote smart people are stealing from them. And we believe the hype because A, they don't have a degree. B, they tell you nice stories. Oh, well, he was young. Oh, well, he's from this place. Oh, well, they're from that. So they make it believable. But really, if you look at behind all these guys getting their money taken, from Kevin Garnett, and I won't be sued, from Kevin Garnett to Tim Duncan, Scottie Pippen, Christian Laettner, to all these guys, myself, if you look at it behind it, these are supposed to be the smartest people in the world. But somehow money is always took.
Got you. So as far as Jordan, because people think he's the one who drafted you, he the one that didn't want you there, he's the one who was hard on you, and he pushed you to a brink of where you didn't have no more confidence in yourself and you couldn't play anymore. What are some of the misconceptions about those thoughts?
I don't think it was Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan just didn't get what he wanted, which he wants to win. Everybody knows that's how he is. But it was more of a league thing. The league didn't want it to do what it's doing now. They weren't ready for that. When I came there, it was beers and drinks and a party in the locker room. When you add an 18-year-old kid, now you got grown men. They can't have their drinks. They can't have their cigarettes. They can't have their cigars. So they're like, who the fuck is this young kid coming here and mess up the league like how we know it? So they hated me. Most people hated the fact that you allowed these young guys under 21 to come into the locker room, because now the locker room and everything around it has to change. Because they gave me a grown man paycheck, but they wanted to treat me like a kid when I done seen way worse than this. They don't know where I'm from. You drinking don't got shit to do with nothing.
Yeah, dude drinking at 12 where I'm from. Yeah, he drink a cone liquor at 12.
Way worse than this. You don't got, but they're so detached from reality. They think most of these guys that are drafted are from some of the worst neighborhoods. It's just some of us get passes to play. People don't bother us because we hoop. And so, but we still know what's going on. But society is not ready for that reality. They are ready now. A lot of these young guys should appreciate what I went through, what I appreciated what Jermaine O'Neal went through. Guys that sometimes it don't always go right for the first people to do stuff, but it opened the doors for the people that's coming behind you.
So you're playing, you're getting playing. At what point are you playing every game?
Never. If you look at my career, I barely played over 30 minutes. There were games where I would play. That's how I got contracts. A lot of people don't want to talk about the analytics of the game. Most of these commentators, they don't know shit about basketball.
Because they never played.
They
never played. Yeah, they never played.
Yeah. These are the guys who love basketball and love the guys around it, so they become fanboys. A lot of these sports guys can't even talk honest about players who are destroying the game or holding on too long because they like them. And that's how I know it's all about who you like. But me, I love the game in a different level. It's all about winning. If we're not winning, I don't care about numbers. I don't care about none of that. I used to win all the time, and that's all I wanted to do was win.
So you never played more than 30 minutes a game. What if some people say because you wasn't good enough to play? Clarify that.
Well, the plus minus would say a different story.
Gotcha. Analytically.
The analytics is the reason why I got the contracts. When they played me 30 plus minutes, and Kevin Garnett was the upper.
And if you know anything about sport, analytics is a joke. If you played ball before, you know analytics is a joke.
Line power forward at the time. So they would measure everybody off Kevin Garnett. If they get 30-something minutes, they would compare it to other guys that's top of the league, number 2, number 5, whatever. And what do they do in those minutes? And my numbers were double doubles every time I played 30-something minutes. And so it's like, if it's on the board with some of the top 5, top 10 guys, at one time in the league, I was like number 4, number 5 at getting to the free throw line. So it's like, it was in spurts. There was, with Doug Collins, the problem is I broke my foot one year. If you look, Zion Williams, he broke his foot. He didn't play for the entire year. It took a whole year to come back, and then they coached him back. When you're at a team that don't really want you, I came back, I broke my foot that summer. I was playing the next year. I was playing in that season. 10 months after breaking my foot, they're looking at numbers when I'm out of shape, overweight.
Analytics.
I'm saying I don't trust my foot, but Doug is like, you got to play. Because the whole time they were still trying to trade me before MJ decided to do what he was going to do.
Before he left, because
everybody know how he left.
Got you. So, I mean, what's the thing? Because the thing with Jordan, like I said, what was your relationship with? Was it just a player? Was he an asshole? Like, what is it? I'm confused because I see The Last Dance, I see his interviews, I see these people say, what was he like with Kwame Brown?
He was, see, the reason why I never disrespect Jordan, because he liked that with everybody. I can respect a man that don't change for nobody else.
Gotcha.
MJ is who he is. We call it asshole. He's just great.
Gotcha.
And he's gonna expect, he holds himself at the standard that he holds you to. And most times people can't get to that standard. Is he abrasive? Is he abrupt? Will he slap you in the back of the head? Will he cuss you out? He'll do everything your uncle would do. He'll do everything your cousin would do. It's just some people take it too serious because he's MJ.
Got you.
But at the end of the day, he's just a man.
Got you.
And so I've never bashed him. I'll tell the truth, but is he more asshole than my uncle? No, they're about the same. He's just a regular dude. And if people start viewing people as regular dudes, then they won't get upset when they meet their idols. They know this is just a man.
So when you coming in here 18, though, did you understand that this is what's going to happen? Like, what was your expectation? Because again, you're in a grown ass man body, but you're still only 18 years old, and your experiences is your experiences, but you're still 18. Now you're on the road. Now you're traveling, hotel, plane, women. Did you process it all?
I mean, no, you can't process it all until it happened, but I was the best player in that draft.
Gotcha.
If they do that draft all over again, you minus MJ out the way, you give me the reps that Paul Gasol got, you give me the reps of any other number 1 draft pick. People don't like to be honest. There's never been a number 1 draft pick. We can have the theories of why it happened, but the truth is, and this is only the truth, there's never been a number 1 draft pick that had their owner and a legendary figure come play at the same time they got drafted. That has never happened in the history of the game. Number 2, there's never been a number 1 draft pick that didn't get the keys to the arena and didn't get the ball. I was the only number 1 draft pick that's ever happened to. And so in order to protect this image of a 39-year-old man coming back, having his hoop dreams on a team that he part owns, they don't want to be honest that could have stifled my growth. And I have supreme confidence. There's no way. You can see the meetings with me and Paul Gasol when I'm older, when I have the labels, when I didn't get the reps, and it still don't really go his way. And so I say with all confidence, I was the best player in that draft. I know it. And that's why I don't never feel down on myself, because I know what I did to every man they put in front of me. I never really got the ball.
How many teams did you play for?
I played for, let's see, I got drafted by Washington, went to LA, stopped in Memphis for a second, went to Detroit, Charlotte,
Golden State,
and Golden State,
gotcha.
And then Philly.
So you played with two of arguably the greatest players in NBA history. What is the difference between Kobe and MJ?
Nothing.
Seriously?
Nothing.
Is it literally the same person, like personality? Explain that to the people.
Kobe is he was a very meticulous man. And he studies greatness. Anybody who was great at something, soccer, baseball, football, Kobe is going to admire that because he knows what it takes for you to get to that level. Boxing, he loved Floyd. So he mimicked whatever MJ did. He was like the closest thing. It was weird. It was so eerily similar to practice against MJ and then practice against Kobe. He would do the same move. It's just at that age, Kobe was faster at it. Kobe was better at it because he was younger. But I could see how MJ would probably be better than Kobe at that same age because MJ was a different type of cat.
Got you.
MJ had he had dog, but he had like a insecurity with his dog. He had to prove that he was the best. He was like, it was like a fear to not be the best for MJ. I guess because he didn't, he got cut that one year. So it drove him crazy to not be the best. And I think it did that for Kobe too, but it just was a little bit more with MJ.
Got you. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Championships. What does that mean to you being an ex-NBA player?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, it's hard to win a game, let alone a championship.
Yeah.
I hate that they make these players' lives all about winning a championship. You got to understand, man. You got to enjoy the first thing about it. It's a game. Any NBA player should be able to live a dream. But what happens when you're a black male and you get drafted, it becomes your prison. They just had a young man quit down in Orlando. There's a young man, I can't remember his name. Carcino was just talking to me about it. A young man just walked away from millions of dollars. He hadn't got a chance to play yet. But because
I think he had a contract of 3.2 or something like that. He basically quit. Said he's done. And, everybody was making fun of him. But I think he had like a 3.2 million contract. So, I mean, he got some millions. Okay, yeah.
The media bullying by guys who can't even play. We have Skip Bayless creating names like
he didn't want to go through that.
We're going to get into them. Let's hold on. We're going to get into all of that in a minute. So
yo, big dog, Kinfolk. I think Kwame Brown. You're gonna hear it later if you still be here. But I think he broke a lot of cycles as well. I think he exposed a lot of things, man. When it comes to the money game, when it comes to the business outside of basketball, a lot of people don't know about this stuff. Now, I've been into it. It's the same reason I told my chat about Deion Sanders. A lot of people don't know the back ends of this. The reason that the big three don't have any success. The big three can't get any sponsorships because of the NBA influence. What's that guy that went to the Pacers? They took his, he had a league. Isaiah Thomas. Like a lot of people don't know the back ends of this stuff. Isaiah Thomas was kicked. They took his league, basically shut him down, and then gave him the Pacers as a recoup on the $10 million that he lost. Like, it's a lot of dirty stuff going on when it comes to this money game. And I think he exposed a lot of it.
Ask you something. When does Kwame Brown realize my playing career
the sport
is
media.
over? I probably could go overseas. I probably could do something, but it's over. It's over. When did that day hit you? What did it take for you to realize, yo, it's over?
When I had that avulsion fracture, I had a avulsion fracture is when your hamstring tear away from the bone. It tears away from the bone while I was running. And I said, yeah, man, this is it. I've had so many injuries. As you get older, it's harder for you to recover. Teams don't wait on you for you to recover. The disrespect comes in and it goes younger. So I say, you know what? I'm done. I mentally checked out. And when I didn't care what coaches were saying, when they would get too crazy, I say, yeah, I'm gonna hang it up, because if I can't get into proper shape, if I can't give a real effort, I mean, I could have hung around for a couple of years like a lot of these older
collect
guys.
some checks.
Yeah, be a nice guy and say I'm mentoring when I'm just collecting checks. But that ain't me. If I can't carry the threat and be in shape, if you need me, then I'm not gonna do it.
So a bust. You accepted the name and actually try to, use it for your advantage. But when they look up that you've been called that, And you stayed quiet for years. I didn't even know you was on YouTube. When we say bust, when people say bust, when they say failure, besides Greg Oden and Sam Bowie, you're in there. What made you finally speak? Because when you finally spoke, I was like, what the hell just happened? When was it enough for you?
It's the invalidation of a man. It's former teammates that they in your face, they smile in your face. In your face, they call you behind the scenes, invite you to their clubs, and their wife can hang out with your girl behind the scenes. But when they get on those radio stations where white folk pay them, they make little jokes that invalidate a man. And then they try to pretend like it's all good and love and you just tripping. When really it ain't like that. Like, you don't ever disrespect a man like that. You don't ever invalidate a man. You can have whatever opinion you want about my game. You have the right to do that. But they excluded me from a factual trade. You want to make me so insignificant? My name got to come up in every little joke. These ain't even these guys' podcast. They don't understand how many times those white folks use my name. Every draft pick, millions of views to say my name. So I said, you know what? Let me show you that not only are these guys pussy, let me show you that they're phony and they weak. Because I'm going to show you that in real life, they'll never talk to me like that by themselves. In real life, I own buildings.
Would you say I jump on your ass like a trampoline?
Oh, yeah. Like, Jack would never talk to me like that in real life. And I'm not saying that.
Was y'all friends, though? But see, because this is what I want to know. Were you friends with these guys and then they was on podcasts? You're like, hold up, the homie disrespected me. What's going on?
Listen, AI pulled up on me like, man, I don't like to see y'all doing that. This is that, because he's friends with him. I don't know Matt Barnes. I don't know these guys. A lot of these guys just jump on the bandwagon. A lot of these guys are monkey see, monkey do guys. They don't have no real life, so they love the group.
Go along, get along. That's what you named them, right?
They go along, get along. They like, I was the dude in the locker room. I would sit there and I don't say much. So I'm joking around with the dudes that I'm messing with. But Jack is the loud dude that got to be tough all the time. So we hung out a few times in Charlotte, me, him, and Tyrus Thomas. But
for one thing, Jack, you're talking about Stephen Jackson because the audience. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, okay.
Like his fiance used to hang out with my baby mother. So it's like, it's weird how he carried it. Like, I don't talk about him. You never heard me speak about him. And like, and when I called him, I didn't disrespect him. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why would you? And on the phone, it was a different conversation. But then over the internet, that's when I started to realize he two different people for the internet. Like, a lot of these guys are two different people.
Got you. So you embraced the name, and then you started really, really going, and then it started seeming like, well, they probably tried to play like you was bullying them after a while, like you was fucking with them when you was originally the one that was spoken about. Was it a time where they was accusing you of stalking, harassing, bullying them after a while when you was just really responding?
Yeah, that's what bullies always do.
Okay.
When I stood up to my first bully in school and I hit him in the face, it turned out he was a coward.
That's facts.
Stephen A. has been talking about me for over 20 years. The only time he's ever addressed me when he tried to embarrass me or disrespect my name again on those white folks show. But when have you ever heard Stephen A. say, you know what, I'm gonna answer his question on why I went to high schools and colleges?
Pay attention. Now, they're not gonna talk about it right here, but I want y'all to understand what he just said. I'm gonna say that again. This is real. This is the real deal right here.
Again, on those white folks show. But when have you ever heard Stephen A. say, you know what, I'm gonna answer his question on why I went to high schools and colleges to talk about the way this guy performed on an NBA court?
So let me ask you, because I need a clarity on that. What you're saying is that he campaigned.
All right, now here's this part that I really want you to pay attention to. I don't know if it's this part right here, but it should be coming up.
Kids don't go straight from high school to the NBA because of what happened with you? That's what you're saying?
People don't understand. Every McDonald's All-American that shows...
Here you go. Now we talking real shit right here. See, I know about this. I done been a part of this. I done seen it happen. pay attention, y'all. This where when I had the issue when I tried to tell y'all about the Deion Sanders situation. There's a lot of money that goes into these kids. That's why they want you to go to college. They don't want you to leave. See, the whole thing with Stephen A. Smith going to the schools to talk about Kwame Brown is because the college lose a lot of fucking money when you skip college. And all these players going overseas talking about, hey, I ain't going to college. These people lose millions of dollars. Millions. It's not a game. This some real shit right here. Please listen.
People don't understand. Every McDonald's All-American that shows up on a college campus, there's literally $2-3 million go with that All-American.
Bingo.
Every last one of them. I was a McDonald's All-American. University of Florida that year was going to get myself, David Lee, and James White. And then the next year they're going to get...
Even if you go for 1 year, you did enough to bring in the money to that school, and they'll forever get money off of you. Even if you go for 1 year, that's why they changed it to the one and done rule. You can do the one and done. They need you to come to that school. That's a lot of money involved in this shit. And that's why I was telling y'all, Deion Sanders can't be in Mississippi. Thank you. That's why they took Deion Sanders out of Mississippi. Deion Sanders was bringing in too much money into a fucking place that don't supposed to have any light. Y'all keep thinking that, I'm telling you, this shit is deeper than sports. This shit deeper than football, basketball. This shit is so deep, it don't make no motherfucking sense, bro. But most of us will look and say, just some surface shit, motherfucking trash. I understand, like, I don't care what you say if a nigga trash or not, but I'm telling y'all, it's not about the sport. It's not about the sport. It's all about the money.
Anthony Roberson. That's 4 McDonald's All-American. They were going to get at least $3 million, $2 million per person. Universities are missing out on a lot of money when a player of my caliber and everybody else caliber do not attend those schools. Why do you think they had to get Deion Sanders out of Jackson State?
How many times have I told y'all? People coming in here saying, you don't know what you... He co-signed it. Everything I told y'all about Deion Sanders. He was forced out. You think Deion Sanders might would have stayed, but he was fucking up the money. They took that nigga from Mississippi. You're not finna let you're not finna let a dude like Deion Sanders, who is stealing #1 picks. This nigga was stealing #1 picks. You know how much money that is? And you putting it into Mississippi? So they came up with a story to tell y'all Deion Sanders wasn't getting paid. Y'all believed it. Y'all believed it. Man, they ain't paying Deion Sanders. Of course they gonna tell y'all that. Of course. Deion Sanders was inspiring people. On top of that, he was taking a lot of money. Because, see, this is the thing. You think Deion Sanders would have went to Jackson, Mississippi? Out of all places? They didn't offer him nothing else. They not gonna come out and say it. Deion Sanders would have been with somewhere else if they thought he can actually be a coach and lead these kids. But see, Deion Sanders woke up a spirit in them young boys. Thank you, dog. Thank you. You see, you know what I'm talking about. They see, most of us, we look at the surface shit and we say, oh, he said, is that under the table money card? Bro, I don't know what type of money they offer him. From what I heard, they didn't even have the money to pay him up front. They're gonna pay him after everything is the school and all that shit. That's from what I heard. I heard they didn't even have the money to get a nigga. But they gonna get it, you understand? Because they got money, but they didn't have it to pay him. Why are you so angry? And see, you lost in the sauce, bro.
It's funny to me why the black community don't see. We got to keep the best of ours. And we allow people to paint these narratives about us. Everybody was talking crazy.
Hold on, what he said?
It's funny to me. Why do you think they're of my...
Hey, listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said. Check this out.
My caliber and everybody else caliber do not attend those schools. Why do you think they had to get Deion Sanders out of Jackson State? That's why it's funny to me why the black community don't see. We got to keep the best of ours. And we...
But see, Now, I agree with Kwame Brown on that. But also, Kwame Brown is making a reference that the community has something to do with that. When Kwame Brown and I both know who's behind that. It's not that the people didn't want to pay Deion Sanders. We know. Come on. He just said it. But he still made reference as if it's the people's fault that they didn't pay Deion Sanders. We know who didn't pay Deion Sanders. We know who didn't pay Deion Sanders.
Allow people to paint these narratives about us. Everybody was talking crazy about me, but
he said,
I just don't get it. I got team
oh,
after
okay, I
team
get what you're saying, big dog.
And these guys, they started this one and done rule. Do you think players get better by spending 6 months on a college campus, or do they sell jerseys forever? Because Kevin Durant didn't get any better by going to Texas. He was already Kevin Durant.
Facts.
He was a man amongst boys at Texas. Kyrie Irving, he barely even played at Duke.
Zion.
But Kyrie Irving's jersey is going to always sell. If Kyrie Irving passes away, his jersey from Duke,
it's all
every
about
other
the money.
place is going to go up.
And he gets nothing. And he gets nothing.
Yeah.
All about the money.
His family gets nothing. The same way when I turned down the DJ Vlad interview, he said, "Oh, okay, well, Sid, you don't want to interview." What does he do? He go and asks everybody that knew Kwame Brown. Well, how was Kwame Brown? Hey, Gilbert, what about Kwame Brown? Because he knew Gilbert was going to say something negative. He go grab Charles Oakley. They go grab all these people around me because I said no.
These guys been playing in the NCAA and they just starting to get paid while they've been using their likeness for years. And when they tried to, when they started to even ask for the money, look how long it took them to finally agree. But Brody said it's that similar to having our black players going to black colleges. Hear me and hear me well. If you a number one prospect, the chances of you going to a black college, boy, you pushing it now. You pushing it, dog. There's a possibility, but you pushing it. You got to understand. I keep telling y'all, if you want to get a clearer understanding, go watch that 60-minute takes of Deion Sanders. When Deion Sanders started bringing up how the money worked, when he started talking about how this school is traveling less but making this type of money, while we traveling, we barely can pay for hotels and whoop this and whoop. Deion Sanders started creating a hornet nest. He started talking about how the money was trickling down from these schools. When I said to myself, I said, Deion Sanders just fucked up. They finna take him away from there because he bringing up noise. Everybody know that these schools not underpaid or they don't have any type of government funding or they get a little bit of this, little bit of that. Deion Sanders started talking about some real shit. And you seen what happened? Guess what? 3 months later, or what was it, 2 months later, he was out of there. He going to Colorado.
So if I can't make no money with you, then I'm gonna just make money off.
Oak wasn't never your people? Oakley wasn't your people?
Oakley was, I never had a problem with Oak. That's why I don't understand that. But you got to understand, when you want to be in the industry, I don't want to be in nobody's industry. And if I ever get in that industry, I'm gonna be me, and they understand that. So I'm unapologetic who I am. I'm happy where I am. I get to say what I want. I get to do what I want, and that's what these guys don't have. They are fame whores, and they
wants to know where the money
is. That they have to. They're not working.
At some point, y'all gotta stop believing what they tell y'all in the media. The headlines is fake. They call headlines for a reason.
To enjoy life. Life is working them because they got to keep up with this image.
So let's not gloss over that. Let's stay there. So Stephen A, you heard? Did you hear it, or did you hear this what he was doing, or you heard him actually doing it? Saying
it's on video.
On videos, using your name.
And guess what? Here's how the powers that be are so good. They know I'm right. They've been trying to invalidate me this whole time. I don't know if Disney paid Stephen A. Stephen A. came out of nowhere. He has no talent. Imagine somebody who
he could box.
Can't play basketball.
He could box.
Okay, yeah, right. But imagine somebody who can't play basketball, who you can look up his record at basketball. He now is the guy that gets to label and talk about every basketball player. It makes no sense. The stuff that we allow to go on, it makes no sense. Stephen A. never got picked that apart. But if you really look at the reality of what went on, I got drafted out of high school. I'm on the steps and got the key to the city. All these kids are around. It's in the newspaper. I remember it like yesterday.
Listen.
They asked me, how did you do it? What was so special about it? And I looked and I said, it wasn't that special. It wasn't so hard. I said, I was in a cheese line. My father's in prison. My mother's on welfare. I was just focused on something. It's not that big. You have to focus on something. The guys who focus and dedicate themselves to something, I said, I'm no different than nobody else. It's in the paper. And I think that day I fucked up because they want you to be a celebrity.
Bingo. What I keep telling y'all, who has the voice? Now, remember, I said all this before we seen the interview, before I seen the interview. I've been telling y'all they need these celebrities because that's who has the power of our kids. But if you can break these celebrities down to just a man or a woman, and you don't look at them as if they God, as if I need to get to their level, then they have no power. See, we give the celebrities power, but if we choose to look at them as a regular person that has no power over our kids, but see, how do we break that spell? I think it's going to take people that used to be in that field. It's going to take people like him. Now, whether he playing a dirty game, I don't think so. You cannot get the kids to believe what we are saying if you don't have people like this saying what he's saying right now. And he finna get even deeper. That will let me know. I think he's authentic. I think he's a man that have lived a life in the shadow for a long time. And when he came out to start talking, they tried to put him back in the dirt. He finna say some more wild shit. But I've really been saying that for a long time. They need these celebrities because these guys and women have more power over our kids than we could ever have as parents. We do all we can as parents, but we still would never have the magnitude that these people call celebrities have.
They want you to be above people so you can create idol worshipers. Be a celebrity.
Let me repeat that. I'm going to repeat that 2 times. So I'm about to replay that twice so you can catch it.
In the paper. And I think that day I fucked up because they want you to be a celebrity. They want you to be above people so you can create idol worshipers. They want you to be a celebrity. They want you to be above people so you can create idol worshipers. I've always rejected this celebrity thing, and I think it allows people to pull me apart. Your
humility hurt you.
Yeah, it's allowing people to see me on that same level. Well, so if you don't want to be a celebrity, fuck you then. But it's like they train people to put people above them. And I just don't feel like I'm above them.
Man, did y'all just hear what he said? Look at the world we live in and listen to what he just said.
It's like they train people to put people above them.
Is that not true? In the world we live in right now. Once again, I just told you, let me show you how crazy it is. I just told you in your local community, there's people that are doing amazing things right now for the youth. They can't get no help. But if Kwame Brown was to come into our community and help, sponsorship come with him. If LeBron James come in our community right now, he bringing sponsorships with him that can help build up and clean up our community. But they not going to allow LeBron James to do that. They might let him go play around and do some donations and play around in his community. But when you start trying to change the system worldwide, nah, you fucking up now. Now you done stepped over your boundary. It's clear as day, man. If you can't see this shit with your own two eyes, how can you be a parent? And I'm not saying like you're not worthy as a parent, but if you don't think that your kids are liars to us and they choose to go out and live this life of these people right here, Kwame Browns, the LeBron James, the celebrities of the world. I'm not trying to disrespect us. I think I'm a great parent. I think I'm a great father. But I know I don't control the heart and mind of my daughter. I know who really does, and that's celebrity. Because once again, when she leave my house, the world gonna take her and swallow her whole. I know that. I don't pretend that, but I try my best to fight against the system. I try my best. Like, this is really going on. We are fighting with the system to be in control and try to lead our kids into the right direction. But we got to fight against the system. That shit's so fucking crazy. I got to fight against celebrities that are influencing my kid. When I'm sitting here showing my kid, this is what can happen to you if you end up in this situation. How many of us still chose to go that route? Because the noise was so much louder than what our parents were telling us. My daddy told me, yo, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen to you. But when I went outside, the noise was just so greater than what my dad was saying. I was hearing it. You hear it. Man, you know you shouldn't be doing this. But nigga, the noise, the music, all that shit scrambling in my brain. So now I'm a gangster. Until I grew up and I was able to break that noise. And I was able to, okay, nigga, you got to see it. This is not real. These people are characters. They just a man just like you. LeBron James is no better than me. Oh, because they gave him millions of dollars. Yo, none of these people. Lil Wayne was my favorite rapper. Lil Wayne, nobody can say shit about me when it comes to the rap game. Lil Wayne. And then when I started to understand, this nigga Lil Wayne is probably one of the most, I ain't gonna say evil, but when I started to really understand, I said, ain't no fucking way I've been over here praising Lil Wayne all these years. And who this nigga really is? Shit cold, man.
And I just don't feel like I'm above nobody. I just work hard. That's it.
Why didn't you, if they invited you on the shows, why didn't you go confront them personally? Because I'm pretty sure could you have not gotten on ESPN to confront him?
They never invited me on ESPN.
To this day.
They want to act like I don't exist because they know when folks
hit them up.
When they can't deal with the truth, they ignore you. They send people like Gilbert at you to create an argument or misdirect. It's about him jealous of me. Anybody who know me know I don't give a fuck. I'm a country boy. I don't give a fuck about that.
But you and Gilbert was cool too. How do y'all go from being like in a sorority of athletes or brothers to publicly now y'all beefing? I think it's weird as shit, personally, especially if y'all was teammates.
Because everything I said was right. He gets paid to do that.
Got you.
You never heard me say nothing about any person until they said something about me. And so, now that I'm on YouTube, I give my critique, I give my opinion. I don't throw the whole man away. I saw D Wade in a dress. I said, men don't do that.
Facts. I agree with that.
I saw Russell Westbrook in a dress. I never seen men do that. I don't know that type of man. I gave my opinion. But did I throw the whole man away? No.
How do you feel about Skip Bayless? Is he another one who criticized you a lot?
I don't pay attention to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is a loser. Most of these guys, like, what has he ever done? Like, my high school record beat his. My middle school record beat his. Like, I'm not going to argue with somebody who did the same thing as me. And just because I went professional, and like, you are not in this lane. I'm not arguing with you. I'm supposed to be arguing with Shaq, Charles Barkley, those guys. I'm not going to argue with you. I can find a guy direct to beat you.
Got you. Why didn't you go to the Breakfast Club? I'm pretty sure you was invited. Were you ever invited?
Because the disrespect. To me, Charlemagne is not the type of black man I would ever want to be around. the first thing he did before he had any understanding of what was going on, he followed his money. Allegedly, he's connected to All the Smoke podcast. So I'm a black #1 draft pick. And the first time you introduced me to the Breakfast Club, you talk about something my daddy did. I had that stigma over me my whole life. That's why a lot of people didn't get whipped. That's an old white boy tactic. That's why I said these niggas know these white boy tactics. They measure, they always label all of us. And so because I knew my father was a murderer, I know I'm going to be judged differently. So I have to behave in an extra certain way. And so it's a bad thing that's what they put out instead of what is this guy really saying? Stephen A. Smith, a black man. When have you ever, if I was a black woman, there would be trophies of me all across America. If I was a white guy, I would be on every Wheaties box. I'm a black man out of high school, and they taught black people to devour me instead of uplift me. Why would Stephen A. Smith, in the history of sports, what was he doing in a stand-up comedic style, talking to kids in high school and colleges about me? What was the purpose of that? Why won't they answer that?
So do you realize that the common folks don't understand basketball? They don't understand analytics. And all they perception is people's reality. We know that. So the perception to the people is that you weren't a good player. MJ didn't want you. This is the narrative that had been ran for, you're not a good player. You suck. No team wanted you. Kobe didn't like you. Jordan didn't like you. So you don't understand why they would run with that, because although it might not be the truth, you say analytically, but this is what's being ran with. And it took you so long to clear the air. So do you understand why people would just say, oh, you was just whack, you was just whack? Because this is what, explain that. Explain. Help me understand that.
Because I love basketball.
Okay.
And I watch basketball on a different level than just who's scoring the points.
Okay.
And if you can't see that when I actually did play, I can guard anybody. When I actually did play, I can go by anybody. When I actually was healthy, you saw somebody that was 6'11" that moved like a guard.
The average person that watch basketball don't know what the fuck he watching. They just looking at stat sheets. They don't really know who's good and who's not good. That's just being honest. The average person, they have no idea what the fuck they looking at.
And so I was in a horrible system that I couldn't do nothing about. I'm dealing with a monster that nobody could get around. I'm on a team with Michael Jordan. It's never his fault. And especially when you're 18, 19 years old, you better not say shit. And so that's why I didn't. I'm smart enough to know that you got no win on this one. I had enough wisdom to know you got to be quiet. That's MJ. Don't nobody want to hear you say nothing. And so it's all about who we like. It's people in the Wizards organization. They know exactly what I'm talking about. And they knew this day was coming.
So how come nobody co-signs? Well, I think Eton Thomas did. I think some of your brethren from the team did. But Kwame, you understand, there's never been a super duper star that say Kwame Brown wasn't garbage. Matter of fact, it was. Who was it? Somebody did do that for you. Who was it?
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. There was never been anybody who said, yo, nah, he was nice. Yo, he blah, 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 blah. Nobody has done that. So it seems like you're just angry, even though you didn't say nothing for a long time, right? You didn't say nothing for a long time, but it seems like nobody is siding with you. And it could be some of the reasons that you said. You understand what I'm saying? They're trying to bury you. But again, they made you the poster boy for something not to be like. You know
it's not about siding with me.
Okay.
What I find comfort in, I don't need nobody to side with me.
Okay.
No one can articulately go against the things that I'm saying.
Got you.
Have you ever seen somebody other than them telling me that I'm mad or assuming of my emotions when we can't measure that? Have you ever heard any of them go against the facts?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Because everybody that understand the business know why. That's how they got the one and done rule. Too many players wasn't going to college. They were losing so much money for people like Kwame Brown, people like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett. All these players was causing college so much fucking money they was missing out on. So they had to implement the one and done rule. And he was a part of that program. When Stephen A. Smith was going around in college, hey, don't be like this dude. Well, I mean, if the dude played 13 years, he was doing something right.
Because what I'm saying is that, you know,
Exactly.
analytically, I'm not talking about these dudes. The viewer don't know, bro, that per capita, it's 200 people in there and 20 are killers. So it's 20 killers, only 200. You understand what I'm saying? So they never knew that when you put the stats, the numbers, they don't deal with numbers, bro. Like,
so they think it's a coincidence that at the same time that the #1 draft pick out of high school, that's a black male, they think that it's a coincidence that I played the least amount of minutes played. And simultaneously, there's a media campaign against me, not just from Stephen A. Smith. There's a woman named Sally Jenkins that wrote an article as if I'm the dumbest guy in the United States of America. There's the who's who of these media pundits that don't know me. That's Rachel Nicholson. They spent.
Man, I hope y'all understanding what he's saying. This is the game. This is the world we live in. There is money involved in everything. And they are willing to sabotage. See, you got to understand, a lot of players were trying to skip college. A lot of players. And they was chosen to go overseas. So Kwame Brown was their first example. And it's just facts. Like, this shit is so crazy to me that people don't see it. I just really don't understand. We just simply look at the surface and we just leave it right there. We don't never look behind it. We don't look under it. We don't look above. We just say, okay, that motherfucker trash. Start to think about this money business. Why did Tom Brady get to win as many rings as he did? Okay.
2 or 3 seconds with me and then come away with these theories. I went to a restaurant. They took me to a Greek restaurant in LA. And this is how they groom these guys.
Why did they cancel the trade for Chris Paul to come from New Orleans to LA? Y'all remember that? And then the next year, do y'all remember that? The NBA stopped the trade of Chris Paul coming to LA. Do y'all remember that? That's money. That's business.
Guys, they bring you in situations that are uncomfortable to you, and they want you to see how you respond. I just got out of high school. I just come off a bus where we ate McDonald's and for pregame or after the game, and we ate fast food. Why would you take an 18-year-old guy that hadn't even gone to college? Because most college kids, they're eating fast food. Why would you take me to a Greek restaurant where we're eating goat cheese and all these different things? Did you think an 18-year-old kid was going to eat that shit?
Is this hindsight now, or would you think about this in the moment?
This is what I'm telling them.
Okay.
And so they don't like
in the moment. In the moment.
I swear to God, in the moment, I'm at the restaurant. They're like, try this, try that. They're trying to get me to try all this. I don't want to try this shit. So I got up from the table, literally the #1 draft pick in LA. I walked across the street to go get the dressing that I want. I found dressing across the street, buy it. I come back into the restaurant. I use it in front of them, and they thought it was the rudest shit ever.
So
I know what I want.
But
Kwame Brown faced what happened to Kwame Brown? He showed signs of they can't control him. So because they couldn't control his narrative, they made him a villain. Do that paint a picture for the world we live in right now? Or do you see what's going on in real time of people that they can't control? When they can't control you, you become a villain. When they can't paint the narrative of how your life should go, then you either dead or you did something you shouldn't did, or you in jail. Everybody that have came out and talked on some shit they shouldn't have been talking on, what happened the next day? RICO charge for Young Thug? See, y'all got to pay attention. When did Young Thug get his RICO charge? When a Young Thug got his RICO charge, what songs was dropping? What song did he drop? Go listen to that song. Right before Young Thug got his RICO charge, go listen to that song. Do y'all remember the song he came out with? When Kodak Black started talking about the weather, all of a sudden he went to jail. Y'all, see, it's certain things these people slip up and do. And now they be doing little things, and then they keep doing little things and keep doing little things. Boom. Somehow they end up arrested for something. It happened every time. These guys, they do little things by little things by little things, and they may be getting warning. Hey. But if you go look at some of this stuff I just said, when Kodak Black was made that song, I can't remember the song, but the song is fire. Kodak Black. And I was like, nigga, ain't no way this Kodak Black talking like that. What? I thought Kodak Black was a conscious rapper at one point with that song. Same thing with Young Thug. When these people start saying some real shit, when they start going against what these contracts that they done signed, they not supposed to be for us. They supposed to be manipulating us. But when they started feeling sorry and they started getting their feelings and they started to realize, man, okay, let me go put a song or let me go say some shit to try to help these motherfuckers. Boom. Next thing you know, nigga out the way.
But I always wanted to ask you, why all these years were you so quiet? I didn't understand. We never seen interviews of you in the NBA. Was that by design?
Exactly.
We never seen any interviews from you. We didn't know anything about your mindset, who you was, what you was doing, and then we just see you on YouTube. And I didn't even know, and this is all due respect, I didn't even know that an NBA player could be as articulate as you was in getting your point across. Because I never heard you speak. Why was that?
Because I've done several interviews, but if you let the people hear me speak, then it debunks the narrative that you've been saying.
Mm.
You see
so
that?
Now they've been working twice as hard. Now that I am speaking, they working twice as hard behind the scenes. They dox my house. They got people throwing things on my house.
Did y'all just hear what he said?
If you let the people hear me speak, then it debunks the narrative that you've been saying.
Mm.
So now they've been working twice as hard. Now that I am speaking, they working twice as hard behind the scenes. They dox my house. They got people throwing things on my house and doing all kind of things. And they're doing weird things because they need me to be what they said I was all of these years.
Mm.
At some point, we got to stop saying everything is a conspiracy. At some point, you got to say to yourself, there may be some truth to this whole sacrificing shit, to this whole, we control how you spend your money. This man just said that these agents basically won't allow him to. He said when he first came in, he was trying to buy hotels and all that stuff. But apparently he had agents that wouldn't allow him to do those things. Not until he was able to, like, at some point we have to say to ourselves, all this shit is not a conspiracy. Is everybody lying? Or that just the world you live in where you don't want to believe when niggas say shit like this? You don't want to believe when Kanye West said they sacrificed his mother. So niggas just tripping out here.
You have a guy defiantly outwardly saying now that you guys are full of shit. You guys are trying to diminish black males. You guys I saved my mother, but they got mad at me because I wouldn't get on there and say my dad was the worst thing in the world. I was supposed to allegedly do an Oprah interview. And I'm telling you, it's all about narratives. People get frustrated and it comes off wrong. Narratives. And that's kind of why I stayed quiet, because I knew it was going to come out frustrated. It was going to come out like I was angry, because you have a right to be angry. Everything that you work for, they want to bring a narrative to give it the credit to someone else. And I was there working every day. I didn't get a chance to be a kid. I had a job since I was 14 years old. And I wasn't supposed to be able to work till I was 15.
Got you.
So a man works his whole life to help others, and he still gets disrespected, mostly by his own people. So I realized, I was like, you know what? If I'm a bust, then every kid should be a bust. Because look at what I got. Look at what I own. Look at what I work hard for.
Think about what that nigga just said, dog. So you telling me a bust? Look at that, y'all. So Kwame Brown's supposed to be labeled as a bust, but this nigga doing better than 90% of the people that say he a bust? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? That's some cold shit, dog. Boy, the media is a bad motherfucker, ain't it? These people can really turn you into a motherfucking villain, dog. What they did today, Chappelle, they told the world this nigga was a crackhead. And the entire world believed that that nigga was a crackhead. What they did to Cat Williams for all that shit he was saying, man, these people is, come on, man. At some point, you got to stop saying shit is a conspiracy. At some point.
Look at this mindset I have. It's a beautiful mindset. I'm not a killer of my community. So if every kid was a bust, then we'd have a better place.
Bingo.
I want to ask you that. Who is your people?
What do you mean, my people?
Because we always say our people as black men, right? We say our people, but most of the hate and criticism we get, who we get it from. So who is our people? Who is your people?
My loved ones that surround me, the people that'll fight for me like I'll fight for them. I don't believe in this whole black community. I believe in the children.
Okay.
The black community is the one that kick you in the ass the most.
That's a fact.
Show me the community where you hide the killers, and it's a community. Show me the community where you hide the killers, and it's a community. Show me the community where you hide the killers, and it's a community. That's not a community. I tell people all the time, they are allowing black people to kill each other. When you go to these Ivy League universities, and I'm all over the place. I love going to these college campuses because I didn't go to college. I love going to see the different colleges, the park. So when I go over to Yale and you walk up the street, there's a camera on every corner on both sides of the street. There's no way you can do a crime on that campus without going to prison or going to jail. And that's a deterrent. And the hood is right around the corner on either side of that campus. But people don't go on that campus and do anything wrong. Why? Because they know they're going to jail. What if they did that in the hoods before they regentrified? Because what they do to us black folks, they're going to put us in different spots to run the value of the property down. And then they sell it for pennies on the dollar to these hedge funds, give them the money to regentrify it, give them the tax easements, and then defer their tax payments for another 30 years.
Oh, you think he lying? You never heard of redlining? Go look it up. Redlining.
Black folks, they're going to put us in different spots to run the value of the property down, and then they sell it for pennies on the dollar to these hedge funds, give them the money to regentrify it, give them the tax easements, and then defer their tax payments for another 30 years. So they're using.
Ask yourself, why do poor people pay the most in taxes? Why do workers pay the most in taxes? Rich people pay the less because they get a break from building the economy, and we have to pay for working in the economy because we don't build. Any of y'all know anything about realtors? Do I got any realtors in here? Can you tell people how much you pay in taxes? Any realtors? Any realtors in the chat? Do I got any realtors that willing to tell the people how much they pay in taxes? I tell them for you. Pennies. 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 But the working class, the poor people, damn near half of our check go to taxes. That's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit.
Black folks for a land grab.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Mm.
We go there, we bring the violence, and everybody know where there's violence, there's no money.
Bingo.
They bring you there, you drive down the economics, they throw your ass out, they regentrify it, they're walking dogs around the park that everybody used to get shot at.
YouTube, you are officially on YouTube. Did you
that
do
was
you
that
feel
was
like
crazy.
sometimes
right
you
there.
could be in over your head sometime on YouTube? You it's too much
Wow.
expected from you that you can't deliver on sometimes, that you take on too much on YouTube?
No, I think I'm right where I need to be. I didn't tell everybody I was going to do anything for them. Everything I said I was going to do, I did. It's grown people trying to disprove my shoe drive.
Okay.
All the mothers of those kids hug me and say thank you.
Got you.
You never heard one mother, I'm on YouTube all the time, not one mother came up here and said anything. It's always some niggas that don't like me.
Where did it come from though? I didn't understand, because when you came on YouTube, it was a lot of love and then it just changed. When did it change for you? When did you feel the change?
Because they were starting to do certain things that I noticed. Like most people compete. That's why
Thanks,
I watch.
dog. Hurry up,
I don't
goodbye.
hang with a lot of men.
Mhm.
Men compete. I like to hang with women, especially women I'm not having sex with.
You
because
sound just like me with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a woman that you're not having sex with, she'll be in the right mind frame and she'll help you in ways and won't be jealous of you. She'll appreciate your rise because she knows she has something to do with it. But dudes, they compete so much that even if they say they down for you, sometimes as they see you go up, they just don't understand why. And so a lot of the dudes, they started to do certain things. The one guy started cursing out all the women. And I'm just like, this is corny. Like the same one that's attacking you now. He just inserts himself in a negative way because that's how, unfortunately, YouTube is the same way some of these guys act on the streets. If they're not getting nothing, they'll jockey for attention.
Oh, they don't act like that with me on the street. It's a little different on them streets.
Well, they act like
I
that.
agree.
I'm just saying, in certain situations, they do that in the streets to other people.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
other
not
people,
to
they
you,
don't do
do
that
it.
shit to me, because on the streets, but that's the world I like. I like that world. That's
Oh, I tell them all the time.
That's
real
mano
life,
y mano on the street. This shit is keyboard shit on the street. Nah, hands and feet when we meet. So, okay, you got a lot of people that don't like you. You got a lot of haters, but then you also get a lot of love.
Yeah.
What is if Kwame had it his way, what is your goal? What is your plans? What is your goal?
I want them niggas to take their eyes off of me and get out my way and stop hindering me at every moment.
Okay.
I came here in 2 seconds. I put together a shoe drive. I've been donating to the Saginaw STEM, donating to several other people on YouTube that I don't even know. I've helped out so many people and connected so many people. And just like how I use your video, you reach out, we on the interview today. That's how people need to.
What I've been saying. There are some people that would strike your channel for sharing a real message that you got from them. Like, let's just say right now, we watching this. Now, he can actually strike me from watching this video when I think it's a very informative information and we can learn something from it. But there are some people that don't want you to use their knowledge to share with others. And I'm saying to myself, well, why would a person do that? I'm a 2K player. In the 2K community, they might not know about this. So let me use this to show it to my supporters. But shit, some niggas ain't going for that. Man, no, man, you can't be sharing my information. How else is we gonna get this knowledge out here? You don't play 2K. I'm from the 2K community. Let me take this knowledge and share it with the people. Some people can't stand that.
A network on YouTube. Not, oh, you
shit
got
crazy, dog.
now. Oh, fuck Doggie Diamond. Da, da, da. And that's how we conversing back and forth. Like, that's corny. And so I got caught up in it for a second because I
What's
like
good?
to joke. I like to roast, but at the end of the day, I'm not in the business when it starts.
Bro, I appreciate it, dog.
Serious, and it's finna get people involved that's not gonna play.
And bro, you wouldn't believe nigga be saying, man, who is that you? I said, bro, that called me kinfolk. Man, look, their name go right there. Y'all go sub up. Bro, people don't need. That's why I say, as black people, we have no idea how to do business. You stopping motherfucker from sharing your shit. You stopping supporters. Because if you do it right, it's gonna be an equal exchange, man. Motherfuckers us. But this is what I'm trying to break in the 2K community. I'm trying to get dudes to work together. And you don't work together by beefing. Man, don't use my stuff, man. Bro, I'm telling you, it'll benefit you. It might not benefit you all at once, but it'll slowly come. And people gonna say, man, guess what they gonna do? They gonna put your name out to somebody else. That's how we get knowledge out here. How did they used to transfer music in hip hop in the old days? They used to write on the trains. And guess what? That train go down to the next community, and that's how they was sending information back and forth. But it's like we done forgot all about that.
I'll tend to back away from it because these guys don't really know that. Like all that stuff they do, that's not real life.
So you got a lot of women and a lot of mothers, and you did the shoes. Is that something that's going to be a recurring thing? Are you going to do it often, or was it a few situations when you did it, or how does that work for you?
See, I've always done that. I just never done it in a way where everybody knew.
You didn't film it.
I got county commissioner just called me right now. I can show you the email. She sent me another donation list. It's like I get hit with that all the time. I just never been the guy that just put it out there. I'm always available for my community. And it's just now I'm going to do it in a bigger way, a more strategic way. So now I'm in a position to where I'm finna do something totally different. I'm not going to spread myself thin by helping so many other people's community. I'm going to focus on my community.
Gotcha.
And I got 2 communities that I serve that I'm going to serve the right way. And then hopefully everybody else follows suit.
With the children that want to aspire to get into sports, what is the advice that you could give them that come from a similar background, dealing with parental issues, environmental issues, but they might be great at sports? What is some of the advice that you could give them, being that you was the first one over the wall and took all the bullets? What could you tell them?
You can't take everybody with you.
Okay.
You got to get that unhealthy taste out your mouth. Everybody can't come with you. Anybody around you that don't serve a purpose, tell them bye early. If you start taking care,
like I just told y'all, man, one of my right hand guys just got out of prison doing 12 years. He might be. I always say this because he be watching from time to time. We had a plan for when he got out, and he went against that plan. The first day he got out, he took pictures with the gang. And we already know what the gang is on. Now you know you still on probation. Why would you put yourself in a situation to where you can go right back to jail? I had to leave. I had to separate myself from him. You see what I'm on, dog? I've been on it since I was a kid, but now I'm not afraid to share it. Because I don't care if somebody call me crazy. I'm man enough to understand that if this is what I believe in and I done made all these sacrifices to do this, I'm not waiting on nobody to catch up. Either we here or we not. Everybody ain't gonna be able to come with you on this ride, man. Everybody ain't gonna wanna, like I said, my daddy called me the devil. When I told him my belief and how I see the world. Man, you been smoking that shit again, huh? The devil done got in you. I said, man, what the fuck? But I understand my daddy is older. So he don't understand the nuances of how things work. There's a lot of information out here. Like I just told y'all, my daddy probably don't believe JFK was assassinated by the government. But documents just came out that most of us already knew. But sometimes oldest people, they not gonna get it how we get it. And homies not gonna get it how we get it. I told y'all, I got another homie. I got him a job, making a lot of money every week. He quit in 2 weeks, went back to the hood. Everybody ain't gonna get it. Everybody gonna get it. And would you believe it? When he quit, it hit me because I brought him in. So I got in trouble for that. I had a strike on me. So if I would have did anything, I got put on probation because he quit. Like, how the fuck I get put on probation? But they did. So if something would have happened, say I would have missed some days or some, man, I'm sick, then I would have got let go. All because I was trying to look out for the game. But sometimes the game, they don't want to be on what you want. They stuck in their setting right now. And you can't fight yourself trying to get these people to see. Do y'all know what a zombie is? Do y'all know what a zombie is? See, media done tricked us that a zombie is a nigga doing this, walking down the street. That's not a zombie. A zombie is a man or woman that can hear what this brother is saying right here. Or people like call me kinfolk and say, man, that shit ain't real. That's a zombie. A zombie is not this guy. A zombie is somebody that put that thing over their eyes and said, bro, I live in the real world. And you saying, so do you believe there's chemtrails? How many times did motherfuckers say chemtrails don't exist? Did the government come out this year and say, yes, chemtrail is real? So you have to see, zombies are not these people. Zombies are the ones that choose to not live in reality. They got a nice job. They got a nice family. And they just want to live their time out on this earth just like that. They don't want to look at the fluoride system. They don't want to look at the food corporation. They don't want to look at the healthcare. It just, some people are stuck in their ways.
Of a man, he's going to resent you for it. If a man is feeling like he's getting an honest pay for honest work, I'm not saying like you can't do a LeBron setup situation to where your homies can work and feel empowered in that situation if you open the door for them, but make them work for it. A lot of these guys have these friends around and they just, those guys are the worst thing for these players. These guys want to sleep with. That's how most of these guys get in trouble. The player meets the women. They all think they're supposed to sleep with the women. But the girl don't know you. Most of these guys don't even work, so they take the tough lane. So that's the first thing these guys got to get under control. Having people around that are not just your friend. Have a quote-unquote friend around that understands you are a business.
Bingo.
And then when it comes...
What I keep telling you dudes, treat yourself like a business. Chemtrails, go look it up, big dog. That way it can stick to you. Please look it up. And you'll understand how some of us are so dysfunctional. But what he just said, we have to start treating ourselves like a business. We have to start treating ourselves like a business. Please look it up, big dog.
To hooping in the basketball side,
all you gotta do is
these teams
copy and paste it. Put it in Google.
Negotiate from a position of less than. They want where you come from to make you feel like
I appreciate that, bro.
You should negotiate as hard, or you should just take what we give you. But if you look at majority of the sports, it don't move without us black folk. If you look at majority of the sports, it don't move without us black folk. If you look at majority of the sports, it don't move without us black folk.
And how much does we benefit off it? 0%. Damn near 99% of sports move off of the black community. And we benefit off it 0%. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. All the money that our brothers and sisters make in the NFL, NBA. Now I know we not running no soccer. I know we not running hockey. NBL, what is it? Major League Baseball. But when it comes to football and basketball, those are the most popular sports in America. And we make no money off it. Even tennis, even golf. Tiger Woods was at one time running the golf world. The Serenas. So, but how much money do we make off it? How much money do we make off it in our community? So the money that these guys make, these agents use their money along with the banks, use their money to go build in other places, to upscale places that they are not from. While their mothers, their grandmothers, their fathers still live in the hood that they came from. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I wonder, and reason why I'm saying that, is it a system that needs to be broken and rebuilt?
Deion Sanders was doing it.
I love when I get co-signed. Once again, go watch my YouTube video on the Deion Sanders situation, and you'll understand how special that situation was. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. Please watch my video on the Deion Sanders situation.
But just like anything, Deion Sanders he understands both sides. It's not just about football.
Mm-hmm.
At Jackson State, I can guarantee you heard him start talking about the crime and the.
But they robbed him. They robbed his ass.
Yeah. So if you want excellence, it has to be on and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
You got to stop accepting mediocre. What I hated the fact that some of us black folk, we like to do the worst bullshit and just cover it up because white folks watch it. Got to start being better than that. Deion Sanders shouldn't have to take a pay cut to coach our kids. He's pouring into these kids. We should pay him more to stay.
Now, that's my part that I don't agree with Kwame Brown on. Because we both know why Deion Sanders is not in Jackson, Mississippi anymore. I don't agree with that part of it. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not telling y'all how to think. We know it's bigger than that. So, but we try to make it seem like it's the school wasn't paying him. We know it's bigger than that.
Hey, when they came with 5, we should have came with 7. The man brought money to the university and everything. He's worth his weight in gold.
You telling me Deion Sanders brought all them millions and all they gave him a $300K? Like, don't believe everything you hear in the media. It's bigger than football. It's bigger than football. Don't believe everything. Don't believe everything I say. Like I told my bro, type chemtrails and chemtrails. You know I can't talk that good. You know I'm from Mississippi. Type chemtrail and then see what I'm saying. And don't just take my word for it. Don't just take my word for it. Type it in for yourself and see. So I'm not saying we take everything and we just run with it. Some of this stuff we have to do our own research behind. But I know for a fact with my heart what happened with that Deion Sanders situation. Ain't nobody tell me nothing else. And they know.
We always talk about what we want from the black community, but the only people seem to get paid is the pastor.
Ooh.
So when you go into a system, your agent is this, everybody is this. That's what I mean. How do we insert ourselves in these fields to where we're going to take care of our own? Because I shouldn't have to go to somebody that's not from my culture and them getting me money, because then they get to say what I'm worth. based off of all of these things. How do we change the system to where people from our culture that understand the background, that understand the fatherless homes, the maybe the mother for substance abuse, how do we insert ourselves in the culture of sports more? Because it's us that's making the sport, but we don't control the sport. That's what I'm asking you.
Education.
Okay.
They don't send.
He said, no, I respectfully disagree. The HBCUS should have paid that man better. No one works for free, black or white. Beyond care about the kids. No disrespect, hurrying by. You still not understanding what I'm saying. You think Deion Sanders brought in millions of dollars and they only gave him $300K? You gonna let them tell you that? You gonna take the media word for that? A man brought in millions of dollars and they gave him $300K. You gonna go with that and run with it? Come on, hurry up and buy. Come on now. Everything that come out as a headline ain't true. These people lie. Deion Sanders was changing the minds of citizens. It's bigger than football, dog. No way a nigga gonna bring in millions of dollars and they gonna give him $300K.
And all of their white kids to go play basketball. They have fun in high school, and then white kids make a decision. I had teammates like, well, I'm getting ready for college. I know I can't play after this. And they'll be decent enough to make the last spot on the team. And they'll be like, no, I'm going to focus on my books. So we got to start telling our kids that, hey, realistically, you're not going to the league.
I like that.
You have to focus on your books.
I like that.
That was first for me. I wasn't just this guy who played basketball. I understood that you had to take
get a trade.
I was signed.
Everybody ain't going to make the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. Get a trade. Get a trade. Everybody ain't gonna make the league. Get a trade, man. The best thing you can do right now is to get a trade. I'm not telling y'all not to go to college, but I'm saying, man, do some investigating before you just jump in the college game. You heard what I said? Jump in the college game. Come on now. Whatever job you say you want, look and see if you in the right state for that job. Can you actually go get a job in the state that you're in? Of whatever career you're choosing. And if you can't, then you might need to move and go to school. Like, you got to start pre-planning. Don't just go to, like, college is just it seems like we just go there for a pit stop. We done graduated high school, now we lost and we don't know. And we say, okay, well, I'm going to go to college. Well, you got to know exactly what you're going for. College is a great tool. But how many people know exactly what college is for? Anybody here know the exact purpose of college? That we wasn't taught. We wasn't taught this, so I'm not saying you wrong or right if you get this, if you don't say the right thing. Because we wasn't taught this. Networking. College is all about networking. And we wasn't taught that. We was taught to go to school, get an education. College is about building friends, networking. Bingo. How to invest, trade ethics. Man, you know I can't say that word. Don't put no goddamn word in here no more. I can't say. Yeah, but networking, dog. I want to say that word, but I ain't finna fuck around tonight. It's too late to be trying to fight with these words. But college is more about networking than it is about going for education. But a lot of us don't take advantage of that because we get caught up in our own little world. We get caught up in the doing all the books and stuff. Like, fuck y'all, man. Fuck y'all, dog.
I'm still getting delivered to the University of Florida.
Oh, you niggas ain't shit.
And done by my sophomore summer.
Ain't you listening to Kwame Brown? Don't be like that tonight.
I was ready to go. It wasn't going to be no Prop 48. It wasn't going to be no, is he going to get in? Is he going to pass the graduation test? Is he going to pass
Stocks
the
and
SAT
bonds.
or ACT? It was signed, sealed, delivered, ready to go. And that's what a lot of these guys don't take care of. Somebody told black people, you're going to rap, hoop, or become gangster.
Yes,
that's
I
what
do.
everybody's doing, or play football.
Just because I read books don't mean I may be able to pronounce it. I know what it is, but can I pronounce it? That don't mean I don't read books.
Nobody's at a large group. It's not cool for black folks to be in school and do good work. Most kids that's doing the grade stuff.
I just mentioned a book that I've been recently reading. Maybe you should check it out. Uncle Tom. Check it out. Uncle Tom Cabin. It's one of my new books. Check it out.
They the lames. They the goofies.
The squares.
They the squares. They gotta stop. We gotta stop glorifying this rap culture over everything. And that's the problem. Everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to be that guy. When really,
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
A regular dude. And instead
I can't
of being
spell
a regular
what for
dude,
shit, but
everybody want to be that guy.
I can read and I know the
So,
word, but I can't spell and you
do
know.
you trust
But I
anybody
get by.
anymore?
I trust people. I just don't trust the sneaky shit inside of them.
How
I want to know.
How do
I
you
wanna
use
know
discernment though?
before nobody looking.
How do you use discernment right now? How do you do it? Because you're a former top athlete. You're had millions of dollars. You done been around the world. You've
Now I haven't watched the
been
video.
around people who you thought was cool, and then they went on interviews and say, "Oh, Kwame Brown is the." How do you trust now? How does it work? And then you in this YouTube space that's anybody could pop up tomorrow and just say, Kwame Brown stole my sandwich when we was 15, and he's gonna get a million views, 100. How do you trust now?
I just take it in stride. The
Okay.
people who believe these dudes that's just saying things for clicks and views, and I met Kwame and he's this, he's that.
Facts.
I laugh because as long as everybody else enjoy it and get a good laugh out of it, it is what it is. They don't know me. I wish most people would stop getting so offended when people don't really know you. That's like, I don't really know you. So if it's things that I say about you, you'd be like, man, fuck you. You don't know me. And
And I agree so much with that. We let others dictate. And that's what like I said, y'all hear me always mention about my own life. My girl, she do that. And I hate it when she let other people dictate how she should feel about something. Nobody controls how you feel but you. Like I said, my lady, she'll be afraid of her mother's opinion. And I'll be like, man, you better stop that shit, man. What is you doing? Whatever you go through in life is what you go through. Don't let nobody outside of you, not even me, dictate how you should feel about something. You have to be strong and not let other people break you and pick at you and get to say, make you upset. Nobody should be able to move you off your square. Not even me should be able to come in and get you to a place where you were so happy, now you so down. We have to stop letting the outside world influence us mentally. I see it all the time. Especially when I come and try to watch 2K. Somebody in the chat can just disrupt you to the point where you ready to fight. You ready to meet them in the street. So you telling me you don't even know me, and because I made you upset by fucking with you in your chat, you ready for me to pull up, or you want my address? Bruh, do you know how crazy that is? You finna throw your whole life away because I'm fucking with you in your chat. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see for my 2K side of the game. Y'all have to stop letting these dudes get you riled up in these chats, man.
that's just the way people used to be. But now it's like, because he's who he is and he's somebody,
is crazy.
Now I'm more offended. I'm
Emotions.
extra offended. I think
We
that's
living
why
off
a lot
the
of
emotions.
these rappers are getting killed, because some of these guys are men. But unfortunately, having the money, having the fame, having the girls, and having that light on you, they don't want you to act like a man. They want you to have them as their bodyguard. So it's just like it's a weird dynamic. So I guess to answer your question, when I start feeling funny, I just get quiet. And the only thing that I could do is just to trust, take the noise out the way, and just
that's
just
a
let
good one.
things
Next
go
come the
quiet
court
and let the
system.
chips fall how they may.
Do you forgive people?
Easier said than done. Well, It'll be easy said than done. You'll figure it out when you made the mistake. So it is easy said than done. But if you ain't paying attention, when you make that mistake of, man, what I just did, and it's too late to say what I just did. So, you know, you probably need to start practicing, man. Let people talk. Do y'all know y'all have a ban button? I keep telling y'all this. When these dudes come in here talking crazy, I want them to identify themselves so I can ban them and move forward. They not gonna get me to the point where I want to see them in the street. I'm gonna risk everything I work my ass off for because niggas talking in my chat. I'm gonna block them and move forward. Once again, what I keep telling you, if you start to think of yourself as a business, right now, I have sponsors in my chat. They message me damn near every night when I end my stream. Do you know I can ruin what I have built all because I'm going off and I'm saying the wrong things? I have sponsors watching me right now as we speak. I have sponsors watching me right now as we speak in my chat. I can tell you who they is. They just be sitting here because they looking at the analytics. They looking at the engagement. And shout out to my sponsors. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. But what I'm saying, bro, you have to be careful because you are being watched and that you possibly messing up your business. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to learn in 2K. Y'all fucking up your business. And it hurts me, especially for you young black boys, you young black girls. It really bothers me because you ready to flip out at any moment. And then the sponsor say, hey, man, you know that person you mentioned? Yeah, we ain't going to be able to work with him. And I'd be like, man, God damn. This nigga just don't get it. Man, these niggas just don't get it. You dude be messing up your own opportunity trying to go off on niggas in the chat. In the chat, you done threw all your blessings away that you done worked so hard for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I would want people to forgive me. I've said things that I've made mistakes. I patched it up with saying that no God.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people that it may look a certain way at first or start off a certain way, but as long as you don't say certain things and go, too far, anything can be patched up.
Because reconciliation. I know you get a lot of love, but you do got a lot of hate. Is there any way that you and some people can mend fences? Like, will there ever be a point where you sit with Charlemagne, argue, agree to disagree, and be cool? Or cordial? No, that's out the question.
No, just the way he did it. I think he a weasel. I've never seen a black man do that in front of them. Like, that's not your radio station. You did that in front of them white folks. You did that. That was purposely done. So I can never fuck with a dude like that. And but it's certain people that, like I said, if you don't go that far, we can all make amends. Because I don't think these guys.
What is that for though? What is that for though? Because I know, to me, somebody saying that I could Frank stand them and all that, that's too far to me. Like, we can never be cool.
That's too far too.
Yeah,
the sexual stuff.
Yeah, we not doing
Frank stand.
But the image.
Nah, that is too far though. A man telling you to Frank stand him, that's too far for real.
Without having a conversation with me.
That's too far.
Kwame's daddy murdered somebody. Kwame's sister's crazy. I met her. Kwame's brother cut somebody up, and Kwame might have snapped because of a game, basketball, and he equated murder to a game. He never talked to me, never said anything to me. And this is what he said on a syndicated radio station. I'll never speak to that dude in a respectful manner.
Stephen A. Smith.
He's a coward.
What's good, big dog?
Would you ever talk to him?
Smith, if he would have came to me like a man and say, I was down on my luck, I didn't have a job, I bullied a teenager. I essentially made money off of bullying a teenager. And I apologize. And then maybe we can have a conversation. But to act like what I'm saying is wrong and I'm just mad, there's more than life to a game. You act as if they just they didn't give me money to play. Like, it's more than life.
You did get paid. You did get a couple of M's.
I got paid. I'm a healthy guy. I mean, I got some injuries, but there's more than life to a game. I like my position in life where I am as a 40-year-old man. When I turn 50, I got a pension out the wide.
Hey, no disrespect, big dog, but we learning right now. We not here to talk about workouts. No disrespect, big dog.
Zoo, and I got businesses and I got things that I'm in control of. And so most 40-year-olds don't have that. Most 40-year-olds don't have several different properties and several different acres in different cities, despite people trying to ruin their reputation and stealing from them. This is what happened. This is what I have after people stealing from me. Imagine if they never stole.
Was it
my mindset has always been on building.
And I want to get on that, but before we go there, so would you ever go up in would you ever go on All the Smoke?
I mean, yeah, if it was some apologies said, I would love to go on All the Smoke and slap the shit out of Matt for what he said. Because to me, he don't know me.
All right, let's take the slapping out. Let's take the slapping out. Let's take the slapping out.
Like,
I ain't gonna front you. I'm gonna give you this though. The Becky with the good.
Never seen the Becky with the. To a guy.
But listen, the Becky with the good hair shit. That was that shit would have me weak. But I'm just saying, let's take the slapping out.
Okay.
Would you sit with them and tell them that how much of a bitch he is for doing that? Would you ever want to do that?
I think conversations has to be had beforehand.
Gotcha.
For me to have that conversation and it don't get violent while we're having it. Conversations got to
still get violent though, bro. It still
it won't get violent from my end.
Okay.
I like the fact that he said that right there.
He chose to do that. I can't tell nobody else what they do.
I like that he said that.
From my perspective.
Got you.
For me to sit there and continue a conversation after the blatant disrespect.
Because that's one thing we don't know how to do as black men. We don't know how to have a conversation. Once we feel disrespected, it's go time. And there are some situations I had to learn. But for the people, once again, for the people that are new to my content, I'm originally from the 2K community, video games. There are guys I got into it with in that community, and I had to realize, like, how does it help me to be beefing with my peers? We fucking up business. And at the end of the day, what I keep saying, you have to start to look at yourself as a business because you are. You have a social security number for a reason. Like you have a is it EID or whatever that shit is? I actually just got, like, I have a LLC. So my name means something. My anonymous 2K TV, my assist game, it means something. So when I'm not conducting myself in the right manner, I'm fucking up business. When I can't forgive a person, I'm fucking up business, especially knowledge. The worst thing I want to do is get into it with somebody who has knowledge. That's the worst thing I want to do. Especially when it comes to like some of the people I react to. I pray I never have to get into it with somebody who I react to their videos trying to share that knowledge. Man, that gonna be hurtful. Because I understand how important it is to get this information out. I don't want to beef with you on nothing. If you feel like, hey man, I don't mind you react to my stuff, but could you not possibly do that or do this? I try my best to work with that person if I'm doing something that bothers them. But the knowledge has to get out. And I think we don't know how to forgive. It took me a minute to forgive, but I did because I realized there is more good in me forgiving to where my community can go over there and hang out with him. Because some people are so loyal. I had some people, and they in here, they're like, man, I heard you into it with so-and-so. I ain't fucking with that nigga no more. And I had to tell him, bro, don't do that. That's me and that guy issue. Me and that guy might handle that issue. But then now you and him have an issue. Y'all might can't handle y'all issue. And now you beefing with him. If I'm into it with somebody, don't you say, because I stand with Anonymous, nah, fuck everybody. Nah, cause we gonna hash it out. That's the same thing with me and my lady. When me and my lady have an issue, it's in-house. Your mother gonna call me, she gonna hear something she don't like. And it had happened before. Excuse me? Ma'am, this is not your business. I said just like that. I don't discuss my lady to nobody. Whatever I did or whatever she did and we had a fight about this, that's our business. Don't call me talking. Your mother, your daddy, nobody can call me talking to me about my family. Nobody. Now, you can call me if I ask you to, but don't call me talking to nothing. Yes, I'm sorry, Jabarkis, but you have a good night. Yes, ma'am. Don't call me talking to me about what I done said or what we done fought about. Fuck is you talking to? You know, that's just how I roll. And my lady had to get that because she thought she was dealing with a different dude. Nah, when you have an issue, that's our issue. Now, if you need advice, that's understandable. But don't you run your motherfucking ass around here telling people about how we get down. If I ain't said it and we ain't agreed to it, then guess what? Keep it in the house.
When you don't even fucking know.
But my moral to that is we have to learn how to forgive, because if you a business, you lose out in the long run. You know, I want you to understand that. Start to forgive some people, dog. It's better in the long run. Whether it's for business or whether it's just personal, whether it's family. You know, my dad fucked me over, but I forgave him. You know, I told y'all about the story. I felt like I've been crossed by some people in my family, but I done crossed some people in my family as well, and they forgave me. You know what I'm saying? So it works out better for everybody.
Got you.
He don't know me like that. Talk to me like that.
Was he? You think he was just following Steven Jackson?
Some people you ain't gonna forgive though.
Yeah.
I just want to say
I don't know what type
everybody
of
ain't gonna
they
get no
breed
forgiveness
now to talk to people like that. But I'm from that era where you don't do that. You don't ever hear me tell a man to do that. I'm not gonna invite you to my penis.
Yeah.
I saw a dude shoot
I think that don't no forgiving on that.
38 special.
Actual fact.
Nigga tell me suck his shit. I don't think I can ever. One things that I don't forgive people for, saying they gonna catch me in traffic. That one right there, I can't ever trust a man that have said that to me. If a dude say, don't worry about it, I'm gonna catch you in traffic, I can never forgive a person like that, because you put in my life in a 360 type of deal where I gotta constantly be on the lookout for a nigga that just mad over a fucking video game, and the nigga said, man, I'm gonna catch that nigga in traffic. Nah, I can't ever fuck with a dude like that.
Fact.
That to a man.
Yeah, facts. So,
No,
but that's doable.
That,
but that's doable. That's possible and probable that y'all can have a private conversation, get to an understanding, agree to disagree, but you can go on that podcast. That's possible.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these guys need to understand. You guys are just men at the end of the day. You're men on TV, but you're not there to embarrass, degrade, or stand on no other man's shoulders. You're not there to do that. Ratings aside, you don't do shit like that. And they're only doing that to black men. And I pointed that out a long time ago. Look at what they did to Shannon Sharp when he said one thing about Tom Brady. Yeah. It ended up being the host disrespected him.
That's facts.
But let me ask you something. Are we, because some people say we could be hypocritical though, because we critique people too. When do we have the right to critique though?
We can critique, but nobody critiques in that manner. They said Andrew Wiggins shouldn't get traded for a box of cereal. To this day, I've never seen a white player they said that to, and in that manner. And then when the kid is playing great and he ends up being damn near the MVP of the finals, they don't come back with that same
clean.
Have y'all noticed they haven't issued Kyrie Irving an apology for not taking the vaccine? Have y'all noticed that? I think I'm the only person that talked about that. I haven't heard nobody say that. I haven't heard no mainstream media. I haven't heard from ESPN. I haven't heard from nobody. Why? How come Kyrie Irving did not get an apology for not taking the vaccine, when he's now is about to get a lot of money back from the NBA for what they did to him? Why nobody not talking about that? Why is nobody not talking about that? Why nobody not talking about all the lawsuit that is going on right now for people unlawfully firing employees because of COVID? Why is nobody talking about that? Why is that not on the mainstream news? So many companies are getting sued as we speak. So many companies are getting sued as we speak. Nobody gave Kyrie an apology for that. He was right. He was right.
Glory.
Yeah,
like they did with that Vitriol when he wasn't playing.
They definitely fucked up.
The game is
Kyrie
about
gonna
ups
get
and
some
downs.
money.
You don't know what he was going through that made him play bad. There's a lot that comes with this game. So to just
said,
be there as a mental stick, you just beating the hell out of these guys. Why? Why just the black players? There's no bad white players?
I said something. How correct or how much do you agree with this? I said they send black athletes and they send black rappers to attack other rappers, and they send black athletes to attack other athletes because if they say it might come off racist. But if they have the black people say it,
that's facts.
It's just keeping it real.
That's
but
facts.
They're really speaking for the white people that want to say it.
That's
they
facts.
Follow the script. How correct am I with that?
I ain't got nothing to say. 100% true.
Yeah, because when you see people say stuff about Kanye and it was like his friend, it was like he's saying it because he can't say it. And some people think he's cool. So when it comes from him, oh, nah, Meek Mill said it, so it got to be real but he's really following the script.
That's facts.
They need a soundbite from a prominent black to validate the stupid shit that they actually think.
Kwame, what's your channel? Let them know your channel.
My channel is Kwame Brown Bus Life, Kwame Brown Bus Life 2.0. But yeah, man, I think I wanted to say I appreciate you for allowing me to use that video, because that video that you did back then was with Ali Vega. I met him in California with Lamar.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
Yeah, we shared a suite together and I heard him rap. So it was like weird seeing that interview, because I always was wondering why he was good. Like he would rap at the Staples Center at halftime. And when I heard him say what he was saying, I was like, damn.
Now you understand why you don't.
Yeah, some of the stuff was matching up, because I'm like, man, I've seen people do that.
That's crazy too.
Mansion. It ain't
that
like
dude is
think.
fire. That dude is fire. And all of a sudden he just vanished from the rap scene? Come on, y'all. You think that by coincidence? Come on, man. That dude is fire. And he ain't signed. Nobody signing him?
Well, so you trying to tell me, because this is my shit. You trying to tell me you seen some of that weirdo spooky shit? Like,
yeah, they do it. They do certain things. I'm telling you, they do certain things in front of you. They bring you to certain rooms to see how you're gonna react. I came to the Playboy Mansion for the women.
Yeah.
It was more dudes than women. The girls are outside. They're greeting you on the way in for the photo op. When you get in there, it's all niggas laying around in the tubs and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm out. I went there. They can see me on camera walking in. You can see me on camera beeline and right out about 10 minutes. So when he said that, when he said, I'm going down the hill and you going up, I'm like, yo, he telling the truth.
So I don't even know what to say. You said you actually bear witness to that. So the mansion parties, the Playboy, that's what goes on in certain places.
I wasn't even old enough to. Matter of fact, I was old enough at the time. I was with the Lakers. So yeah, I was telling my agent, man, I want to get to the Playboy Mansion, man. This and that. And yeah, one of my agents. All of the agents they're part of the porno industry, majority of them. Most of the sports agents, one or two of them, or somebody with that agency is dealing in porn.
Look how deep that shit is, dog.
I ended up at a porn set, and that's when I realized, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So they got these, you walk up these steps so you can look down. And so they have these different rooms. So this room is the gangbang room. This room is all women. This room is whatever, and you just looking down. I'm just like, what? This is how this shit go? And so, then after that, they'll bring everybody together, and it'll be this little party that y'all have. And
that party, that puffy party with Fab party.
Yeah, man, like me, it just be my time to go. That type.
as I told y'all, I lived in this lifestyle coming up. You know, for some of y'all know my background, you know my story. And I'd have been to some of these parties. And I was young. I was maybe, when I first started to go into stuff like this, I think I was 22. But I was well connected into, you know, I told you I used to be a pimp. And I don't want to get so far into it, but I used to deal with older women. And I was invited one time as the boyfriend type thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And man, I had no idea that this shit was as real as he's saying it. And you know, that's why I have an issue when it comes to the Balenciaga shit. I have an issue when it comes to kids. Because I know that shit really exists. Now, I didn't see any kids where I went, but I heard stories. And it's not a fairy tale. It's not a conspiracy. These people really get down like this. And as he said, they show you things. You walk into the wrong room. I done walked into the wrong room a couple times in my life. I done been to 3 dungeons. I done been to a couple parties. And you walk into the room and you know, you be shocked. And you know, you turn the fuck around and you panic. And when it first happened to me, I was scared than a motherfucker. But the lady that was, you know, over me, you know, she calmed me down. And, you know, she was showing me around. She just was trying to, you know, let me know, you know, about the environment. But this shit is scary than a motherfucker, dog. And I was 22. My first time going into this, man.
Shit, it be my time to leave.
How many? But it probably have to be athletes that we look at that take place and it's okay with it.
The ones that you see dressing a certain way, the ones that you see wanting to be a part of the it crowd, because there's an it crowd. The ones that you see a part of that, those are the ones that's 9 times out of 10 that's ready to get down with the get down. And the guys that don't, I believe all of the guys that you've seen in these dresses and dancing and being, they want that image. If I go put on a dress and I dance for them and all that stuff, you'll see all positive things about me. But you won't see me in that dress.
Do you do social media?
I do Instagram here and there. Most of the time,
I got a few stories on YouTube.
Riding in the car.
I don't talk about that life though. See, one thing I never talk about, I never talk about my criminal past, and I never talk about that style because that's not what I want to promote. See, what I keep telling y'all is, you can program people to want to try things just off of keep saying it. So I never talk about those lifestyle. The only reason I talked about it during the Young Thug case, because I can speak from experience. But you will never hear me talking about my gang activity. You will never hear me talking about my criminal past. And you will never hear me talking about, you'll hear me talking about my lifestyle with females, but you'll never hear me talking about the pimping. You'll never hear me talk about it.
Old school music. I'm real old school. That's another thing I got coming. I got a little juke joint I'm about to do.
What's up with you in the truck and the tractor? What the hell you be doing on there? Like you actually do work around your house or do all that? See, okay. Okay.
My yard was all trees, like everything was all trees. So I strategically knocked them down myself. But me, with all the lawsuits and all the things that's going on, I focus more on my assets than my liabilities.
You have
A lot of
lawsuits
guys don't
against you,
understand
or
that.
you're suing people?
Both, a little bit of
wow.
both. I've been. People don't understand lawsuits is draining. I've been in lawsuits for 7-8 years straight. So, my thing is, I've been maintaining though. You ain't hear me make a cup poop until I came on YouTube. You ain't hear nothing from me. So that's the one thing I respect about myself. A lot of these guys, they have to go run back to the same organization that did them wrong, or they got to go do this or do that. Or a lot of these NBA players are working in warehouses, or they trying to find coaching jobs that take them away from their kids and their family even more. Me, I'm right here available for mine. I'm up here seeing one of my kids now. And yeah.
Why did you leave the culture of basketball though? Why you never became an analyst? Why you never started your own sports show? Why? Why did you leave?
Because I got to say things they want me to say. These guys can't speak freely. If you talk about LeBron, you out of the league. You out of the. I guarantee you can't take an analyst's job and be honest about LeBron, Chris
Unless you're
Paul,
white.
Top guy.
Unless you're white.
I'm going to be honest about everything.
Unless you're white.
No,
Skip,
LeBron got
Skip, because Skip be wild.
Skip is different. Skip's about the only one that can say something. He's built up enough of clout and love personality that Skip gonna be able to say whatever about everybody. I don't know why, but he's about that only guy. Everybody else, and you're right. Yeah, Skip, he can say something about whoever, but Stephen A can too.
I think didn't Jalen Rose hold you down before too?
Jalen Rose checked the shit out of him. Jalen Rose,
but did he hold you down before too? I think he said so. Yeah, that's
yeah.
It was Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose kept it real.
He a real one. Like he tried to, even before he held me down, he was trying to get them to understand the name calling. That don't have nothing to do with basketball. I can say, Brother Diamonds, you don't play very well, opposed to, hey, Doggie Spice, or this and that, some girl name. That's if you can receive the other one better than me calling you out your name just to say you don't play well. And that's what these guys do. And it's a lose-lose for Chris Bosh, because if he handle him like a man, you're like provoking this man. And then if he do something to you, you're going to sue him.
Ain't that weird that the whole time we thought Chris Bosh might have been a little zesty, but the whole time it might have been Dwayne Wade the whole time. The whole time we looking at Chris Bosh doing all this stuff, but it might have been D Wade the whole time. That's a whole nother.
D Wade definitely.
You gonna get in trouble for that? D Wade strong, boy.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
They got D Wade.
I got enough fucking with D Wade. But that boy, that's strong. I said something about that Kobe dress. Lord,
yeah. So, you was big when you first came out on YouTube. You still might be, but you were big on talking about coding and the kids learning coding and different things. How was it a way that somebody came and tried to help you implement that, or that was just a suggestion from you?
No, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm talking with Dante of the Saginaw STEM. I donate to Dante. Matter of fact, I need to send another donation to Dante, but I haven't donated in about maybe about 2 months, 3 months.
Okay.
But normally I'm on a regimen of donating. I tell everybody to donate. STEM is just something, in coding is just something that'll give these kids an opportunity to have something to fall back on. This is not something that Kwame is putting on his back and making it a mainstay for him. It's for your kids. It's for my kids. It's for everybody. These kids are graduating without learning anything. Most of these kids are graduating reading below the average. Most of these little girls, they're just going out and creating babies to have some place to stay. We got to get something better for the hood than nursing for little girls and little boys playing sports, or they're going to the port.
That's facts.
If we put some trades in these schools, then you would have every young man.
Why did they take trades out of the school, y'all? Out of the public school? Anybody? Why did they take trades out of the public school? Why did they take it out? Why did they take it out of public schools? Why? Everything is about business. All about business and money. Money, business. Money, business. Money and business.
With a decision to make. He can either go to college or he can go get a job that is going to make him some money that he can take care of a family.
Hmm.
Will he be rich? Maybe not. But will he have to go out and rob somebody? Will he have to go out and take from somebody or stand on the corner and sell some drugs? That could be a choice of his. But these fields, you make
Bingo.
enough money to take care of yourself.
Bingo.
And that's what we need to start having for our kids.
You realize though, when you put out those ideas, it becomes your job to do it now to the public.
That's not true.
To the public. I didn't say you. I said to the
Uh-huh.
public. It's not your job. But what the problem is, when we suggest something, the first thing people say is, so why don't you do it?
That's crazy
That's because
too.
they want to absolve
That's crazy that people do that.
themselves from the responsibility of doing it
That's
themselves.
crazy.
I don't live in every county and every school district in the United States.
Gotcha.
This is for the children. Somebody asked a dumb question talking about, does he know coding and trading? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? A lot of people just want to argue with someone. Is this beneficial for kids or not? Kids in New York, kids in Mississippi, kids in Georgia, South Carolina, wherever else, if they had STEM in schools, because most of the people are doing coding. Most of the smartest people in the world are coding right now. They're coding in the 5th grade. All of their kids are doing coding. So why can't our kids do coding? It should be mandatory. It should be taught in a class, coding. It should be every day. It should be taught coding. Everything is turning into that. But we rather teach these kids about who they identify with or what they identify
Pronouns
with.
and shit like that.
That's not going to help them in real life.
Yeah.
That's not going to put money in their pocket. And we got to start, parents got to start fighting for this in real time. What are some of the successful groups teaching their kids? They're teaching them coding. They're teaching them trades, some trades. They're teaching them STEM for sure. And why can't we do that? That's why we're left behind. So to argue with Kwame Brown because he's not putting a STEM program all across the United States, I think you're a joke at that point. When you can go down to City Hall or to the school board where you're from, I can go to the school board where I'm from, and we can say with statistics and data and say, this is what all the successful people know. They know how to do this. Why are we not teaching the kids this?
Got you.
Why are we failing these kids by letting politics get in the way of what they actually really need?
That's facts.
You,
your political affiliations, you're kind of open with that. Were you afraid to be like that, or you don't give a fuck?
I don't give a shit. I just, my thing is this. I'm an independent. I'm going to deal with Democrats. I'm going to deal with Republicans. I'm going to deal with independents. I'm going to deal with the people that's going to do what I'm asking. We need trading and coding in school.
Facts.
If it's a Democrat that'll help me put together a trading program or a STEM program or anything that's going to help these kids, I'm going to work with them. If it's a Republican that'll do the same thing, I'm going to work with them. If it's a Democrat that's going to help me get my building together to put a program there on Saturdays, I'm going to donate to them and work with them. And vice versa. That's what people do. We're the only group that's so emotionally tied to someone. I'm not emotionally tied to any of them. I want to get things accomplished. Whoever is going to help me get that accomplished, that's who I'm rocking with, because that's who.
And see, who would go against coding when we know that's the future? AI. Everything has to do with AI in 2022 and moving forward. They even trying to get rid of the dollar and put it into digital currency. AI. Jobs. Cars are driving themselves. They got the 18-wheelers, which we need. They got the 18-wheelers out now driving their self. Who would go against that? Who? It's crazy to think that some people actually have an issue with that. That he wants to introduce or wants to, make reference to why can't we have coding when it comes to school, especially the public school? Why can't we have trade?
Because the only thing I want to get accomplished is progress. I want my community to look like your community.
You've done limited interviews too, even on YouTube. Why is that?
Because most people want to they want to attack you. They want to read you.
I ain't straight
They don't want to listen to understand. They listen to respond.
Bro, I'm certified. I'm a certified electrician. I'm a certified painter. I'm a certified aircraft mechanic. That's 3 trades. 3. And I keep telling y'all, my last job, I made 6 figures a year. But that's not what I want to do with my life. I want to influence kids to do better. I want to show them routes that they can take. You know, this is what I want to do. I quit my job to sit in this chair to talk to people around the world. My coworkers were like, my family was like, but I'm happy. I don't need to make millions of dollars, but I know how important it is. Guess what? If I want to right now, I can go get a job, build an aircraft mechanic. I can be an aircraft mechanic. I can go be a painter, and I can go be an electrician. Commercial. So, commercial painter. You feel me? Commercial aircraft mechanic. Not resident. So, dog, like, people be judging on the outside thinking they know. You know, people might say, man, you can't spell. You can't read that good. We can't really understand your accent. We can't understand. But I'm certified. I may look like, I may got a pass that you might say, bruh, but I'm certified. I got cars. I got OSHA license. Where's my wallet? What's up here? It's downstairs. But I'm certified. So I'm certified first aid. Bro, you know no, that's just that. Some people judge you from the outside that have no idea who they be talking to. That's why I keep trying to preach to you niggas when it comes to the 2K side of the game. I'm a businessman. And I know how you can make business. Of course, we all make mistakes. How you think I get some of the sponsorships I got? I'm not going to go into it, but man, I'm not just talking. I know some stuff. And I try to show y'all a better way that y'all can do things when it comes to the 2K side of the game. Man, there's so many of them young boys that can be set right now, but they won't get out of their own way. They won't stop being a hood nigga for a day. And I keep telling them, stop being the hood nigga and become a businessman. There's no way some of them guys should be. This ain't the time or the place, so I'm going to let that go.
And debunk. When I don't know somebody, I just try to understand from their perspective. I don't have a dog in the fight either way. I just sit and listen, and I try to put myself in their shoes to understand and not just to say what I wouldn't do. So many people are limited in that way. They instead of putting themselves in your shoes and seeing what maybe you would have went through or what you saw, they'll say, well, I wouldn't do that. Or I wouldn't do that. So they automatically make you wrong. And I think that's a limited way to think.
Besides the bus thing, analytically, in your opinion, what is the biggest misconception about you? What do people think about Kwame Brown that's just absolutely not true?
I don't concern myself with that.
like you don't have nothing that bothers you that you keep hearing over and over, like, yo, man, get the hell out of here with that. Like, nothing bothers you? But you do be responding to people. So
I make it funny.
Okay.
Like me, it seemed like when I respond to them, they're more hurt than I am. This dude say, I don't see my kids, I don't do this, I don't do that. But then I'll be like, damn, how would they know that? So why would I get mad? I can show you text messages with my kids right now, but why? It doesn't serve them any purpose. It ain't like they feeding my daughters. It ain't like when the first come around that child support that I'm responsible for, they're going to say, fuck your daddy, here you go, I got you. They're not going to do that. So why would I care about what a bunch of strangers say?
I like that.
And what I noticed is the people that have the most to say, they really don't have nothing going on.
So they did say you have some small ass hands, though. Like, I ain't gonna actually put your hand up or measure.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that. MJ said that. But this is the thing. MJ make everybody's hands look small.
He
I would
actually,
love for somebody-
he actually one of the only NBA players that could palm the ball. Pause.
I would love for somebody to put their hands up next to MJ. And this is the thing you got to understand. When somebody is trying to, when a system is trying to justify why something is going on, remind you, I'm not saying anything.
Mhm.
The guy who's supposed to be so hurt, so whatever, he ain't talking. He just playing it how it go. The people who know they did wrong, you notice they kept putting things out there.
Mhm.
He's little this, he's a little that, he's this, his hands are small. Well, my answer to that is you drafted me.
Yeah.
You measured my growth plate, you measured my body, you took my weight, you took my urine, you took everything. So you're bad.
What's the difference between that and like a because I liken that to like a slave auction. How close am I?
I mean, I don't know how a slave auction went, but
Well,
damn,
historically, they would
yeah.
measure you. They would measure
Yeah.
how big you were, how much you weigh, how big other stuff was.
Yeah,
How
you ain't
similar-
hiding nothing. You standing there in shorts with no shoes on. I mean, some guys are in tights. You see everything.
And
they
they
check your nuts. They check everything. So it ain't.
in
no
the
secret.
NBA thing, they measure your calves and all of that.
They check they know everything about you. So
That's
it's
facts.
funny how they're able to pass that excuse, his hand's too small, when you measured my entire body. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's an excuse. It's an excuse not to place blame that, first of all, they wasn't ready for somebody my age. They wasn't ready to have separate everything for a guy that's too young. There was restaurants and events that they had because alcohol was there. I had to leave.
So you
But
fucked
I'm a part of
everything
the team,
up.
but I had to leave. So, they wasn't ready for that. And so I wish people would be more honest instead of trying to make a kid take the blame. I'm a grown man now, but to try to make somebody take the blame for some shit that you did and for some shit that was wrongly done to them. And when you have all of these grown adults, go look up these articles. Sally Jenkins.
Put them in your community. Do you have them? Put them in your YouTube community so people could grab them later on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's funny how they make one kid that was a McDonald's All-American that's on honor roll, that's signed, sealed, and delivered. People could go look up my transcripts. But if you look at what they wrote about me and how they wrote, you think this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, how did he get to the league? So let's get this straight. I got small hands. I'm an idiot. I don't like to work out. I'm no good at ball. How did I get to where I got to?
One person in the chat, Jesus Piece, you said slaves didn't get multi-million-dollar contracts. Terrible analogy, bro. Well, they get multi-million-dollar contracts that they eventually lose their money, right? They get robbed for their money, and they can't do and say whatever they want. So how much freedom do they really have? And they have to play the game the way they're told to play the game, when to play the game.
That's facts.
They could be sleeping in the bed one night, and then they call them and say, you just bought a new house there, you're traded. You got to go live in another state now. So how much freedom do they really have? Is money freedom? So you're saying,
that's what they think.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying money is the freedom. You need to go read some books. That's not a terrible analogy. That was the right analogy. You need to go read some books.
They got everybody thinking that. You're absolutely right.
Because you got money, you free.
I like
So
that.
Allen Iverson,
a lot of people say that. I would do anything for that money. I'm like, are you kidding me?
yeah. So why Allen Iverson couldn't drop his album?
Shit, he better not.
But
David
at that
Stern
time,
was
yeah,
about to
David
leave.
Stern was like, get the hell out of here. You're not a
Facts.
rapper no more. So
Mhm.
again, so you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube. Do you do a show every day or every now and again? Like, how do you?
I do a show every day. They just don't put it out no more. I'm in the process of doing something different that I'm not going to put out because it seems like there's a team of people listening and watching whatever I say.
Mhm.
And
Facts.
the Bible say, I guess the
Facts.
Bible, somebody say, though you should be so silent that the walls shouldn't even know your thoughts. So I'm at that point now. The things that I really want to get accomplished, I'm not sharing them with nobody until I get them done. And I'll just let them see it. Because right now there's forces and there's things, even a shoe drive that I wanted to get done. There's so many people hating and so many things going on just to give away shoes. Like it's a shame. The so-called community, the way we hold people accountable, it's a shame that the ones that call themselves holding people accountable, if you look at what they do, that's all they do.
But that's why I asked you, who's your people? This shit is hard to see right now, man,
Yes,
because all
sir.
I get is so much resistance. And I'm like, damn, like all the shit that I've done and do for this culture, I still have people who will down me and say you ain't shit in this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But Kwame, man, I want to thank you for joining me today. Anything that you feel that I missed, that you, when you look back at the interview, I'm going to send you a copy as well, so you can
Okay.
post on your channel. Anything that you feel like you missed and you want to go over, and we could just talk about, my platform is always open for you. I love to come on your platform as well, and maybe you can ask me some questions about hip hop, the culture, and all that. And this was a long time coming, and I appreciate you for being honest, being yourself. Nobody is perfect.
I
We
enjoyed the
doing what we
interview.
can, but
How
I'm
y'all
just
felt
happy
about the
that you're
interview?
making an attempt. And I sent you a DM a long time ago. Look what I told you in that DM. I told you a long time ago, Kwame, do not answer these people on YouTube. Do not answer these YouTubers. Go look at the DM from the. I sent that to you a long
I
time
enjoyed
ago.
it,
I've
man.
seen a lot of people say that, but
I think
did.
a lot of stuff gonna go over people's head. Some people not gonna pay attention and understand some of the things he was talking about. But I think it was amazing.
It for a reason. Like I wanted people to see a man that opened himself up, a so-called celebrity that come down, and a lot of people ate with me. A lot of people was eating. I'm trying to show
A lot
them
of gems.
this is what YouTube is supposed to be for,
Before
network.
we come here, real
But
one for
they
real.
care, bro.
always say
I
these
don't
cliche
care.
things
Real
on
for real.
TV.
Yeah.
Black folks need to come together.
Mediterranean.
And what did you see people do to a person that wasn't threatening to anyone? They try to devour me. But
Yeah.
the thing about me is that I have things outside of YouTube. And now that people are watching me the way that they're doing, I get to dictate
what's up,
what they
man.
see and what they look at.
Gotcha.
So it's always a good and bad in everything. And I just try to focus on that good.
I
never
ain't
changed
smoking no hookah though. I don't smoke no hookah.
Yeah, I'm done with the hookah.
I'm gonna say I ain't smoking no hookah. I don't
Yeah.
smoke. I don't drink. I
That
never go
shit
take a
messed
gym.
me up. I'm done with that hookah for a while. I'm trying to get in shape, Jack.
I don't smoke. I go to the gym every day. I just left the gym. I used to be 300
Yeah.
pounds, bro. I used to be 300. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. So my audience know about me eating and working out, and more food is mental than it is what you ingest. You know,
Yeah.
what you ingest mentally is very, very important. But, you know,
Right.
let's try to put some things in play. Even some of the people who don't understand or think that they hate us or think that they don't know, maybe we could give some people understanding and have them join in. Because a lot of times it is ways to bridge a lot of gaps. A lot of stuff is stupid. And
Yeah.
it is
And I
ways
want
we
to say
can.
this for the youth, man, for the kids. Like, if you want to take anything away from my life and measure anything, that grit and that perseverance. Have you ever known what it's like to have the whole world talking about you? Have the whole world say you ain't shit. I ain't run, I ain't jumped, and I ain't never been afraid. So that takes something. That shows me who I am. A lot of people, if 10 people talk about some people, they ball up in the corner and cry.
That's facts.
I had the whole world talking about me.
That's facts.
So you got to persevere through things in life. In life, things are going to happen to us all. There's no
Facts.
excuse. You can move forward. I'm not ashamed of whatever name they call me. My kids call me daddy.
Mhm.
I get the respect that a man's supposed to get. A name ain't shit but a name. What I do every day makes me who I am. And that's what young kids got to realize. With this internet and this fool's gold world, you got to really have a knowledge of self. And if you don't have that, you're going to be consumed by some BS. So salute to you for having me on, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Anytime you need me, man, just reach out. I'll get your number from Queen Regina.
Yes.
And I'll shoot you my jack so we can keep in touch.
Yeah, and again, I commend you for being tough, because a lot of times we seen a lot of people hang up and take their life behind that pressure, and people don't understand. And I tell this to my audience, man. With us, we under so much pressure as black men. All we have is to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is kicking us in our ass, like you say, kicking our drawers in our ass. All we can do is be tough, and sometimes it's turned into hyper masculinity, and it goes into attacking people because we always feel attacked. So for you to laugh and shit and do shit, you better.
Now, how do we move forward when internet really controls everything? You have to pick your groups. You have to pick the things you want to get involved in. Like, you here tonight hanging out with me, so that let me know that you choosing what you want to get into on the internet. The internet may control things, but see that if you let the internet control it, there's an option to change the channel. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be able to be strong enough to choose what you allow to enter, you know, the mind and the brain, the subconscious. You in control of that. You chose to hang out with us tonight and possibly hear something that you like. You know, I would hope you heard something that stood out to you, you know. So you can choose, even though the internet is not in control. The people are influencing you to make you feel that it's in control. But we can choose at any time to say, this is negative. This is bad. You control the content. I thank you for that. You control the content you consume. So it's not necessary that the internet is in control. That's just what we have been made to believe. Now, I said the influencers, such as these celebrities, now, they have more influence than us, but we are fighting with them. When I don't know if you mistake when I said that. Like I said, these celebrities have so much influence that we are fighting against them to try to teach our kids and teach our loved ones. But I can choose to turn this off right now because I'm in control. I can say, I don't want to watch this shit. This shit ain't no good for me. Like when I don't allow my kids to listen to rap music. My girl, she put on, when we driving, we either put on a podcast, we're going to put on some R&B, we're going to put on some blues. You know, I'm going to get to doing my 1-2, you know, but we not going to listen to no raps. Now, when I'm by myself and I want to listen to a little pop, you know, if I want to listen to a little NBA Youngboy, if I want to go out for a little bit. But when I'm with the family, nah, we don't listen to that. See, I control that. But guess what? The world still going to be picking at your family. The world going to be trying to tear your family apart because that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to try to tear your family apart. Everywhere you go, there's something that's trying to rip you apart. But you get to be in control, though. And, you know, that just comes with, you have to just keep developing that muscle. Because it's a muscle. It's a muscle of understanding. I have the power of my life. But when I speak of kids don't have the power that we have to fight back. Sometimes they just get hit with it and they gone. But as a grown person, you know, they say the brain starts to develop at 25 for males. I think it's around 18 to 20 for females. But you know, as kids, they don't have the luxury that we have to fight back. We put the tablet in their hand and they won't even come back. My daughter will stay up all night if I let her and play video games. You see, she don't have the willpower to fight back like I would, because she don't really know that that's not good. That's not healthy. I just give it to her and she just assume that, okay, daddy, I'm going to eat later. No, what you mean you going to eat later? Put that thing up and go to bed. You know, sometimes I had to get in that mode. So they don't really know. So, but if you old enough to understand, to ask that question, then that means you get to make the choices of what you consume.
Better than me though, because I ain't laughing at shit. You fuck with me, I ain't laughing. I'm not. Well, anyway, I can't say that on the air. But you better. I'm just saying.
I never wanted to be in nobody's jail cell because an idiot got me there. If I go there, it's because of the decision that I made, and I could feel bad about myself. I can't let no idiot run me to nobody's jail decision.
Y'all heard what he said? Don't let an idiot put you in jail, and then you get in there, and you gotta sit back and think, man, ain't this some shit? A nigga done tricked me out my life. A nigga done tricked me out my freedom. Don't let somebody else trick you out your happiness and your place in this world. It's already hard enough as it is.
I can't let no idiot run me to nobody's jail.
But ain't nothing like seeing the blood.
I like too many parts.
And ain't nothing like seeing the blood run out of somebody's mouth because they ran it. I love that more than anything. I love that shit. Know. I love that shit. But Kwame, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to send you this video as soon as it processes, and I appreciate you, man. Later on.
Thanks a lot, brother. Yes, appreciate you for having me.
But man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for hanging out with your boy. Man, I'm going to actually try to go to bed on time tonight, even though this is not on time, but so I can get up. I was late going to the gym this morning. I actually didn't go to the gym till like 2 or 3 o'clock, man. So I don't want that to happen today because I know it was afternoon or evening or something, but I know I went late. I normally try to go around 9 or 10, so I'm gonna go to bed, man. I appreciate once again y'all hanging out with me. I hope that we got to learn something about the way the system works. Like I said, the more information we can get on how the system works, the more we can combat it. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm here to. I'm trying to show you when it came to this right here. I want you to see the reality of life. See, this is reality of life. This is the state of poor people. And that's a reason that it stays like this. You understand what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So this is the state of poor people, y'all. This is a state that I came from, this environment. And I'm still poor, but I'm not back at square one. See, that's different stages of poor. And you know, we can constantly grow and grow and grow. But as you heard what Kwame Brown said, you have to put the focus, you have to put the will. You have to have the will to want to make it up through the stages of life and possibly get into a situation where you can live a little comfortable. You can breathe a little easier. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, pay attention, man. Let's learn from others. There's a lot of people that sacrifice their life for us to know a little something. So let's try to know a little something. Let's try. But thank y'all for the support, man. I hope y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Thank y'all for the support.